Live over here, but I need to talk. welcome to day 3, the Snapdragon Pro Series, the EU. Well, I guess it's a EU Turkey MENA semifinals, where Birthright versus Twisted Minds and Flux Esports versus the Prestige will be going at it today. It's gonna be pretty amazing. A little bit of action that's going to be rumbling up here. How you feeling here, Kronos?
Hey G, thank you for bringing me in. I thought you were gonna hop the spotlight for yourself, but hey, I'm good. I've been doing good. It's a nice, beautiful day. The weather's nice outside. It's quite sunny. At the same time, I don't know if you can take a look at it from the reflection of my glasses, but it's nice and sunny. Nice blue skies out. Some nice greenery. Wind is blowing. It's a beautiful day. It's a good day for Mobile Legends, and I think the semifinals, especially here in Europe. Ooh, everyone's excited about it. Twisted Minds versus Birthright. I think one of the most awaited games for this entire tournament. Right? It's basically a final put into a semifinal, and I don't see a reason why this cannot be going out and be a banger. So I think we're already into the draft right now. We have Herod being taken off. Louis is off the table. I can't really see. That's the Edith that's been taken off the table as well. So Angela, and I think the chip should be coming off soon. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, I mean the chip definitely. I mean, I guess maybe it all depends. It all depends, right? Like a lot of teams have been hit or miss when it comes to utilizing the chip or not. But I'm actually super surprised that we're jumping into Fireflux versus Prestige first, because I felt like Fireflux is one of the most anticipated games of the night. So jumping into that early is quite crazy. I mean, we could see. I mean, nothing's really changed since last week, right? I mean, the teams are gonna have their comps. They're gonna be going with what they feel comfortable with. If I'm not mistaken, Fireflux last time was banning a lot of Freya, but I think they then took out the team that had the one trick Freya, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they did. They absolutely, I don't want to say destroyed because they'll be going over the board, but they did dominate them in a Fireflux fashion. And at the moment, I think the way it's going about, they take out the Carmilla. So the Carmilla has been seeing a rise, not just in Europe. It's been seeing a rise in Southeast Asia as well. A lot of the MPL teams scrimming have been picking up the Carmilla, the Roam, the Jungle. So yeah, I think Carmilla is a good band because it's not first pick worthy, but at the same time, it is like a third pick or like a second pick. So you don't want to give the power away. Matilda taken off and then instantly chip. But look at those win rates. It's 100% win rate. I mean, it's picked twice, but still, it's 100%.
I mean, if there's one thing that we learned from last time is that Fireflux like to go gung ho, and I mean, what better utility than a chip? I mean, if you ban out the low yi, then you're essentially capping what Prestige can do movement wise. And not only that, they also banned out the Matilda on the side of Prestige. So essentially, they're cutting themselves off. I think sometimes you have to like win some, lose some when it comes to some of these trades. And we can already see Prestige pulling out the Fredrin and the Yu Zhong. They might not be able to get the chip, but they'll get 2 strong other heroes right now.
Yeah, that's true. That definitely doesn't get the chip. It's basically the trade, right? What are you willing to trade for that one power pick? And I think they were okay with giving away the Fredrin. I don't think they anticipated the Yuzhong so early. And I think you and I talked about this before. They always pick up this Yuzhong early Prestige. It's usually on the first or the second pick. And it's not something we see quite often, but I think it goes to the comfort pick of Farway. So, he's picking up the Yuzhong right now. And on the other side, they should probably be looking at picking up a gold laner, maybe a Natan or a Moskov. Yeah, look at that. Gold laner being picked up, and it should be paired up with a Vexana, I feel like.
Vexana, huh?
Ooh, Terizla.
I mean, true. I mean, right now, maybe Prestige should be picking up a Valentina. I'm not. We haven't seen too many Valentinas with a chip combo, right? Like, and I feel like that'd be one of the heroes that could possibly steal the portals and utilize them herself. So, I mean, that would be one way Prestige could grasp back a little bit of that movement that they are lacking. even though the team right now is pretty well diverse, I mean, if they go support Emblem Fredrin, you're looking at a lot of mobility being pulled out from him and Yuzong. So there's quite a bit of an approach that Prestige could take here strategically.
Yeah, I mean, it all comes down to how they want to round it up, at least in the first phase. And look at that, they pick up the Roger. They don't want their goal lane choked down, so understandably picking up the Roger right now. I don't think it's the best laning opponent for a Moskov, but picking it up right now just give them the assurance for that early game presence at least. So now they want to pair it up with it's that great Dragon Spear that would be running around kiting so beautifully, right? That's what the Roger brings to the table: the kiting, the immunity. And it goes to show that they have a plan in mind. They're just not going, gung ho for no reason against Fireflux, even because they, like you mentioned, they love to do that. They love to go into those team fights. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. But right now they're looking at the Novaria being picked up on, being banned out on the other side, and I think Fireflux should be looking to choke down the mid lane as well. Take out the, Faramis, take out maybe a Valentina, take out a Vexana, unless because we know they possibly run the Xavier, if I'm not wrong. So just waiting to see how what's gonna be the story here.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen, at least I've heard, is that there's some Xaviers coming out and stuff like that. I mean, we'll see if it's viable. I mean, there's still huge mages available at this point, right? I mean, you still have the Vexana, you still have the Valentina. And I mean, both of those could be the key pickups here. What really synergizes with the side of Prestige is probably going to be CC, so I wouldn't be surprised if they pick up the Vexana because they banned out the Valentina. And we might see Fireflux also ban out the Vexana, which is going to force probably an unorthodox mage pick at this point.
I think Fireflux should ban out the Faramis, right? Because if you don't ban out the Faramis, you're giving it immediately to the Prestige, and looking at their composition, they want to dive, and there's nobody better to provide that synergy apart from the Faramis. So if I were them, this would be the Faramis ban, but I think Vexana as well, the same thing. You're just really good in team fights, have that presence, and it could be a big difference. But yeah, see the Faramis being taken off.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been useful. It could have been useful. Definitely keep them alive, especially, well, it's all you got to be quick, because Chip is a lot quicker than anybody that I've ever seen. So I do think they pick up the Vexana here, which again still will force out an unorthodox mage pick here. Look at the 31% win rate by Vexana though. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. I think for like a meta mage, we would think that it's definitely something that's going to have like a 70-75% win rate, but like a 31%, that's not even half the games that she plays. So I mean, maybe it's like a bait. Oh, look at the Farsa coming out on the other side. I wanted to say Farsa is something that I've been seeing pop up often, especially after the buff that she received to her Wings by Wings, to make sure you can fly in and out of there. And I think it's it's a good pickup. So hey, excited to see this.
What
the
Julian?
I told you, G. I told you this about a week ago. Julian's in the meta, and nobody has realized that. And people have started realizing it. I think after Kyrie played in the MPL Indonesia side, only then people started realizing it. He went for the Holy Crystal as the first item. I don't know what exactly is TNZ going to go over here, but I'm excited to see the Julian. And on the other side, the Grok just to round it up pretty well. So excitement on the other side. The other side just looks like a plain boring draft, but the boring draft is the one that usually wins, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Normally when you go particular like this, I mean, they have a lot of burst damage, so I can only imagine Fireflux wants to be aggressive, but let's see if they're aggressive enough to not hit a wall, or we'll see. I mean, do they have the power to push through it? I feel like that's what it's going to come down to.
Yeah, I agree, and it's going to be something that's going to be really exciting. And I think it's just we want to see how this game will turn about Fire Flux versus the Prestige. We know Fire Flux is the favorites to win the tournament, but the Prestige want to be that big dark horse, want to cause and create that upset. And I think into the draft, we go into the game, we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Land of Dawn.
Yep. And we can already see what's going down. We got the two jungles. The Julian definitely into the jungle at this point. Not I feel like it's one thing that is going to be throwing us off, right? Is like, can the Julian catch the Roger? What's his target going to be? Because right now it only seems like maybe after dark would be the ideal target, but I guess it depends on how he's utilized. We can kind of take a look at some of the the emblems, but they're way too fast. But looking into Prestige here, what do they have? I mean, again, they have the Fredrin, so they have the neutral objective security. I'm not quite sure if we're supposed to be hearing game sound. I'm not hearing game sound. Only thing throwing me off right now.
I think the game sound. I'm not sure. That's probably something they got to figure out. But I think I like how you said neutral objective security with the Fredrin. But at the same time, the Julian, what he brings to the table is this early to mid game power spike, right? Because the enhanced chain, the enhanced sword, the enhanced sight, they start doing a lot of damage once he hits that level 4, level 6. It's not even usually we see about level 8, but Julian is like level 4, level 6. And when he starts hurting and it hits like a truck at this point. So he's looking to get those pickoffs. As you can see, Grok is right there. Grok gets caught, and I think he's forced to flicker out as well if you take a look at the map. But the action is happening down bot as well. Rosa and Alien trying to reach the level 4 power spike, have that big feather airstrike along with the penalty zone just to fight for this turtle. Black Dragon coming out, Rosa being zoned away. And I think at this point, Sonohara should have the neutral objective, but TNZ comes in. He goes with the enhanced sword. He does miss out on the turtle. Sonohara gets out of there. And Moji with the Furious Dive just to zone them away. So first turtle for the side of the Prestige, but Fireflux still have a slight bit of a goal lead.
Yeah. And I mean that just attributes to their earlier comp, right? Like their aggression is a little bit less than what Fireflux does, but Portals!
Oh my god, he comes in with a shortcut feathered airstrike, and look as she flickers forward, first blood going on towards Fireflux Esports, and after dark, really seeing the darkness of the screen, but Apex 47 almost getting caught up by Shao. He wanted to go for the Lycan pounce, but seems like he just made sure not to bite off more than he could chew at this point. Sonohara Retribution on towards Sunshine. He's able to dash out of that. Taunt misses. So living on the edge of Fireflux Esports.
Yeah, and I mean, even though they lived on the edge, they got like 500 gold from it, able to take down After Dark. And I mean, it gave it to Rosa, right? And I think that just comes to show, look at the power. 2 feathered airstrikes taking him down to 25% HP. I think even less, actually. That is crazy. A pressure exerting.
Yeah, and I think also, if you took a look at the items, he built the magic shoes and not the arcane boots. So without having an extra bit of penetration, look at that enhanced chain to get that knock up. Asmo getting up into the wall. Here comes the shortcut. Yui's Alien is there. Feather airstrike is popped. At the same time, the Eternal Guardian to make sure they can disengage. So both teams know that this is a best of 5 series, and the first game gives them momentum. So they're biding their time and they're testing the waters. As the second turtle should be spawned in about 5 seconds. G.
Yeah, and that early engage, that pressure that Fredrin's already exerting, right, forced the Yuzong and the Terizla to kind of rotate and force out, and Yuzong was able to get a decent bit, but a Black Dragon coming out.
Yeah, trying to zone them away. Apex 47 has to get out because there's no possible way they can pick a fight. As long as Moji is around, there is the threat of Rosa having to cancel out the feathered airstrike. Because you don't have the Purify, you have the Flicker. So you can reposition, but the Black Dragon is just too much of a threat. Along with that Petrify, it could be a big nuisance. So the Sparsa has to watch out. And I don't know, it seems like we're all looking at pillars right now.
Yeah. Right now, we can definitely see the micros taking effect right now for Fireflux. Looks like
There
an
it is.
engage.
Yeah, enhanced chain to pick up the kill. The first kill for Julian, so he should start snowballing. But here with the shortcut into the top lane, the instant rotation Spear of Misery gets a double person stun. And Apex 47 has overtime right now. He's working that overtime, right? The chip, supposed to be a lazy hero. It's called the overtime. Look at that crash course, getting the CC, but gets taunted instead. Apex 47 will be getting out there. No, he does not. Shao picks up the kill. So it's bits and pieces, 2-1 kill score. It's just small kills, a little bit of the water testing, but nobody wants to take that big risk yet. It all comes down to who will be the first one to make that big, flashy play.
Exactly. I think again, it's gonna come down to that. But right now, I think Fireflux has that micro. Like they are just controlling it. Their damage is a little bit too much for Prestige to handle. Right now, it does seem like Fireflux has that mindset of ending this game as early as possible, choking out Prestige, while Prestige is in the pocket that they need to stay in to go long game. They want to take it to the end game because that's where the Roger is going to shine a bit alongside the Vexana.
Oh, she gets caught here. There is the Wild Charge Black Dragon form coming out. Shortcut being destroyed instantly along with the Feathered Airstrike being used. Sunshine gets caught. No man's land. He gets taken down. Enhanced Chain to get the knock up. And Julian, look at the damage from those enhanced basic attacks. TNZ definitely knows how to utilize this Julian to the fullest. And that beautiful skin showing that work, right? I love that skin, to be honest.
The JJK skins are nice. They're actually having a little bit of a rework coming up here soon. But you can already see, again, the pressure. He was able to reset the turtle, but for what? You know, they didn't even reset it enough. It just literally tickled it. And then TNZ was able to take out Osmo with no problem. It's just one after another. Every little bit of gold is just being stacked on the other for the side of Fireflux. And just look at the patience here. Like, he was even able to steal that little scarab there as well. So, again, Prestige pushed back against the wall. As I like to always say, are they going to become the predator or the prey here as the game tides on?
Yeah, I like that saying, right? You either, hunt or be hunted. And right now, it looks like they're the ones being hunted. Here comes the crash course shortcut being used. Well, Alien is there. He gets knocked up by the Wild Charge. And meanwhile, the Roger just dives in like in Pounce, but the penalties don't come out on time. Appraiser's Wrath picks up a kill, and now the fight is split apart between the two. You can see Alien just zoning them away, but at the same time, Shao gets taken down on the other side by TNZ, while this side, Moji gets caught with a rock in a hard place. He will go down. 2-for-1 trade. Fireflux Esports. This is the big play I was talking about, and now they're able to make that big transition into the mid phase.
Yeah, they're stacking the snowball on one another, zoning them out. Look at, Sunshine right now is doing an insane amount of damage. Ooh.
Look at that. Rosa zoning them away. That's a Farsa that's zoning them away. At this moment, they get them in lane tier 1. And Asmo, Grok gets shut down. Like, he gets shredded so easily. Enhanced Chain to get the knock up. Shao here. I don't think it was the right idea to try and defend that. And he gets caught. He gets taken down. 1-2-1 Roger 9 minutes into the game. Not the greatest game that Roger would be having, as the Lord is coming up in 10 seconds. And I think Fireflux Esports definitely have the advantage here.
Yeah. Lord already kind of just, they already got the control of the pit at this point. And Chip, a little wild. Portals. Cameraman doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, the other side, the portal, is a little too late. He didn't get the memo, but you can see Rosa. Look at Rosa's positioning. Always away from the team fight. Realizes that Moji's a threat and doesn't want to give him any chance because he's the one bombarding this entire damage. That Feathered Airstrike is such a good high ground skill. Provides so much high ground. Has the blue buff as well right now, so definitely utilizing it to the best. And I think we're going to start looking at a lot of Farsas pop up right now in the meta. A lot of Julians popping up as well. So the meta, once again, folks, is wide open.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but it's 7-3 at this point, 5,000 gold lead. Really, they need a play from Prestige, something that just gets ultimate control.
Oh my god, they all just get caught. Look at that. The Feather Airstrike picks up the kill, and we're talking about a Frederick gets instantly melted. The enhanced sword to pick up a little bit more. TNZ now 405 on this Julian. I think last we saw him, he was 101, and now instantly he picks it up. Look at that shortcut being used. Apex 47 tanking the damage. Once again, unstoppable is TNZ. As Moji not having the greatest of games. Rose is zoning the Vexana away completely with the Feather Airstrike, but here comes Shao. I don't think he wants to pick a fight because he doesn't have the damage. And Rose is just... Now, I think Flux Esports have every hero that can individually carry the game after this big giant snowball.
Yeah. They just have that damage. And again, there's just really nothing Prestige can do. Maybe like an insane wild charge could change the tide, but it's a 10,000 gold lead. We all know what happens when 10,000 gold leads take apart. Like it's tough.
Ooh, wild charge to get the knock up on towards Rosa. They cancel out the Feather Airstrike, but the damage has already been done, and Osmo is forced to flicker out. Now doesn't have the flicker, and that's Sight gets the kill. Did you see the way he just got burst down? A Grok, one of the most tankiest heroes in the game, instantly being taken apart. And look at Feather Airstrike forcing the flicker as well. Rosa playing really aggressive on this Farsa. They get the kill on towards After Dark, and now they're pressing the advantage. Sunshine, Wind of Nature able to survive with the enhanced shade with the knock-up. It misses, but Moji will get caught and get taken down. That was so close for comfort from Sunshine. TNZ wow. As well, look at that, get the kill once again. The Feathered Airstrike being the difference maker. And I think this high ground mage coming in from Fireflux, along with a combination of this Julian, who's doing so much damage once again. And that's why they're able to pick up game number 1 in this best of 5 series. And Fireflux Esports have drawn first blood.
That was complete domination by Fireflux. Pulling out the first time that we've ever seen a Julian in the Land of Dawn. For now, this is wild in the Snapdragon Pro Series, kind of taking a look at their builds that we are seeing here. It looks like he did not go Holy Crystal first, it doesn't seem like. We didn't really get to see too much before they jumped right into the highlights of this match here, Kronos.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. I like how you mentioned he didn't go for the Holy Crystal, so there are different ways to build this Julian. People are still testing the waters, and, you know, it just goes to show how versatile he is. He's a fighter, let's not forget. I don't think he's an assassin. He's a fighter mage. You can build him a little bit tanky as well, and you can see the difference he does with that extra bit of HP, the extra defense that comes to a fighter. Killing spree over here. At this point, he was just starting to snowball 8 minutes into the game, 3-0-2, and the Moskov Sunshine was shining as well. And Rosa, just look at a Feathered Airstrike along with Alien. I think Alien had his bad days, but he put the bad days behind him. And now with the Terizla, the Flicker penalty zone just being an absolute nuisance to their back line, it was just a one-sided story. Because, you know, I told you about how they were testing the water, but look at that was a big brain play, right? That was a complete outplay coming from Sunshine as well. So yeah, I was saying, like, you know how Alien had his bad days, but now he's put that behind him, and he's back to being his former self, and that's the Alien we know, who likes to get first blood, likes to be in these team fights, gets down and dirty, and has been having a great time. As you can see, gold per minute, the gold miner being TNZ, this Julian instantly farming really fast damage. Rosa, 5,245, absolute monster on the Farsa. Osmo, the Grok just got melted instantly, and Selfless being Apex 47 on this chip. So you give the meta heroes, combo it up with something that's completely not seen before, at least for the past month and month or two, and this is what happens. Fireflux just pick up the game number 1.
Yeah, I mean, they just had a lot of damage, a lot of control, a lot of early rotation. TNZ securing the MVP this time around. Which, I mean, pulling out the Julian for the first time is definitely crazy. It was something that you just don't see every day, right? Like, it blew Prestige's socks off. They didn't really know what to do through that whole time. I mean, we've seen literally, like, Fireflux felt comfortable, and then, like, Fredrin just walked with a Grok to the Lord, and then just walked right to your death. It was like GG. Nothing they could do.
Yeah, I mean, a sight for sore eyes if you're a fan of the Prestige. But I mean, if you're a fan of Fireflux, but at the same time, for if you're a fan of the Prestige, I mean, you're probably not liking the way it's turned out so far, but you know for sure they're one of the dark horses in the tournament. And what better way to announce yourself into the finals and beat Fireflux? So I think it's a tough and a tall ask, but at the same time, it's not impossible, right? Anything can happen in the land of Dawn. It's not over until the fat lady sings. We've seen big reverse sweep happen. And it's just game number 1. So game number 2, this could be the one that we want to talk about. And I think the Prestige are gonna start putting all their eggs in one basket. And the man of the crystal ball, GD Eiko, should definitely be telling you how this draft is gonna go and who's gonna pick up the next victory.
I mean, it just all depends on how scared Prestige is of Chip at this point. I mean, there's a lot of variables that Fireflux kind of pulled out on us, right? They pulled out the Farja. They pulled out the Julian, and they pulled out the Chip. So there's just a lot. Like, are they scared of it? Do they keep the bans up? Do they have something up their sleeve that they're gonna pull out this time around? I feel like that's ultimately what it is. If we start seeing Prestige start panic banning some of the heroes that Fireflux pulled out, it could be they've lost their mentality already, which it looks like we're not seeing that right now. They're keeping their cool. They're rolling with the same exact stride. Maybe they have something up their sleeve.
Yeah, I mean, surprise is what we want to see. So definitely not banning out the Julian so far, because I think it's not worthy to be banned out in the first phase at least. So just waiting to see how they will go about. They're taking their time with these bans, the Prestige, and I think they should be. You got, I think, about 45 whole seconds. You want to make the most out of those 45 seconds, the possibilities, the combinations that your team wants to go with, and the synergy as to which part of the game you want to dominate. Is the first turtle? Is it going to be, the first turret? 5 minutes into the game, 2 minutes into the game? It all comes down to that. What kind of power spike you're looking for? Because the Roger is open right now. I know they kind of have ping issues, but I think since both are located in Europe, yes, it's Turkey. But at the same time, there's also the Fanny, the Ling, the Fredrin is still available, the Vexana, the Yuzhong, the Carry. Yeah, it's a lot that's left on the table. The Moskov as well. So it's just a matter of choice at this point. They ban out the Barretts though.
Yeah, exactly. Banning out the Brats, which kind of leaves. What are they gonna go with here? I'm guessing they're just gonna ban out the Matilda, and then allow them to first pick something on the board. I mean, they could first pick the Roger, but the Roger, again, I feel like the comp they just went with. I mean, they could also first pick the Moskov, because it does seem like over here, it seems like the Marksman's normally the first picked. In North America, it's normally the tank or the jungle that's the first pick. So we'll see what they decide to go with here.
Yeah, I think the Matilda should be the one they're banning out, right? I said 45 seconds. That was probably 1 minute 30, so kind of ate their time. But yeah, they missed out on the final ban, and they go for the Matilda. I know, like, confused, right? I was like, something. Am I tripping? I know it's like early for you, G, but it's 4:30 in the afternoon over here, and I'm just like, am I tripping?
It's sleepy time right now. Fireflux said, sorry, AFK.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I don't know what's happening over there. I probably had a really nice lunch and just fallen asleep. But right now, Matilda being picked up, it's a really good first pick because it provides so much, right? You got mobility, you got the heal, you got the poke, you have river control, you have dive, you have chitin abilities. It's just too powerful a hero. Although they kind of balanced her out, it's just a little too much in her kit. And look at that, the other side. Instant, tanky, beefy picks, along with the right kind of CC that they need. There is the Carmilla, and they can be picked off right off the bat, leaving the Fredrin open, leaving the Roger open. The Yuzhong is left open. The Moskov is left open. And we're used to seeing these picks come out first. So I think on the other side should be Valentina. They don't even care. They're like, it's okay. We don't need the Fredrin. Look at that. We don't need the Fredrin. We want the Moskov and we want the Valentina because it's something they're cooking. Unless we miss that final ban as the Fredrin.
I mean, that is true. That is true. I mean, that last ban could be something we just don't know. But I kind of want to know what they throw in to synergize with the Carmella a little bit better, right? I mean, they could pick up the Vexana. But again, the Vexana's win rate is just actually kind of bad at this point. They could pair the Carmella with the Navaria at the same exact time. So they could pick up a Navaria here, which would slow down a little bit of the comp that Prestige is building. Yep, there it is. I suspected that because, like, the Vexana, yeah, you get the CC, you get the damage, but right now, Vision, you don't want to give an internal guard to a Valentina.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point of not picking the Vexana right now. Of course, the Vision that you mentioned, right? The Novaria, more of a utility pick, and I think we've seen Rosa shine on this Novaria as well. As much as we like to see Rosa go into these carry kind of mages to dish out the damage, the ADC types, it just goes to show that, you know, he is very versatile, very flexible, can play different kinds of mages, and a poke mage in this Novaria along with the utility is something that's in his arsenal. But at the same time, now they ban out the box. Yeah, I think that final ban has to be the Fredrin, no doubt whatsoever. I think they're just having problems with the graphics, you know, and at this point, yeah. Roger being taken off as well. So choking down on the gold lane on one side, choking down the jungle on the other. Let's see how it goes.
They could just pick up Claude, though, on Fireflux, to be honest. You could go Claude. Again, might need a little bit of a backline, though. So, I guess that's where the Claude would kind of come into handy, just being able to get out of sticky situations. You have the tanky Carmella, you have the tanky Edith. I mean, Claude would synergize really well with the Carmella, so maybe we see them pick up a Claude. From the side of Prestige, though, they already got their tank, mage, and marksman, so they need an EXP, and they need a roam. What do they go with here? The Minnow's already... Maybe the Minnow's available. Minnow would actually be a pretty good comp to go with here. Well, I guess they already have the Matilda. My bad. So they're not gonna go roam here. They need EXP in jungle.
Hey, hear me out. Hear me out. Valentina jungle, Matilda mid, and Minotaur roam. I think at one point Matilda was played mid and Valentina was played in the jungle. So just throwing possibilities out there.
Comp out of nowhere. What in the heck? A Beatrix. Let's go.
Hey, exciting stuff for us, at least up on the desk. Those who don't know us, I'm Kronos. Alongside me is GD Ico. So yeah, you know his channel. But if you're watching it from the MLBB Europe Esports channel, make sure to drop a follow on his YouTube page and mine as well at the same time whenever you can, because we're excited to see the Beatrix 4 different guns coming along. Wesker, Bennett, Renner, and Nibiru. Yeah, I didn't say it in the right order, but on the other side, the Lapu coming off as well. What will be their jungler? Let's play a guessing game, G.
I mean, at this point, who knows? It could be anything. I mean, they could just go Martis here, to be honest. It'd probably be an easy go, but they're gonna secure it and go with the Kai instead. I mean, they already have the damage, so why overstate your welcome, right? Just take the Kai, take the strategic approach, and go with it. But I think they're really relying on that Moskov a lot.
Yeah, Moskov, the Valentina. Yeah, they're relying on that a lot. And Lapu for the mid game. So you can see the roles that they're kind of playing and their mindset that the Prestige are going with. But Fireflux on the other side, they have two flex picks. And even Novaria can be playing the roam. So yeah, so like a bunch of flex pick right now. They don't know. We don't know who's gonna go into the jungle. We don't know who's gonna go into the roam position. We don't know who's gonna go to EXP. I mean, yeah, we know technically, but you know, it's still up there. It's up in the air until and unless they see it. You know, it could be the Ruby. I've seen a Ruby jungle. So you never know. It's the semifinals. They're one game up. They can pull anything out of their hat. Because, ladies and gentlemen, let's be honest. It's all about the excitement for us. Fireflux Esports versus the Prestige semifinal Snapdragon Pro Series. And the game number 1 has already been taken away by Fireflux. This is game number 2. And I think they want to make sure they got all the excitement for us. And once again, I'm Kronos. That's G, the Ico. And we're just excited. We're pumped to bring in the action for this next game.
Yeah, I'm more pumped to see the Beatrix than anything, just because you know I'm a little bit of an American sniper on our side, so
hey.
I want to see what they utilize here. Do they go the sniping route? Do they go the shotgun? What do they possibly go with here? But we'll be getting into game 2 here. Prestige versus Fireflux Esports into the semi-finals. Can Prestige clap back at the pressure that Fireflux is excluding here to them? We'll never know. I mean, it'd come down to this battle here.
Yeah, you never know who's got to call the ambulance for sure. Because right now, Sunshine on the aggressive against Xiao and gets taken back a little bit. Osmo is there with the rotation at the right time. The Carmilla in the jungle just to provide that extra tanky presence. Look at Apex 47. Picks up the Edith for the roam position and gives Alien the Ruby. Gets poked out a little bit by this Valentina, and the wave clear though from Rosa is just absolutely monstrous. So quick. This will provide support to his jungler, and I think Asmo rightfully getting the river control as a Mathilda should.
Yeah, I mean, we can just see that there's a little bit of a faster clearing speed and control, but they're gonna fight already.
Yeah, and here it is, Curse of Blood. They link the two together, but there's no follow-up with the damage because Carmilla doesn't have that much damage. Rosa needs to scale a little bit, and so does Apex 47. So just to show that they're not afraid to pick a fight whenever necessary. And look at the EX Blade. Moji's just absolute monster, just zoning. Oh, I think Alien missed that minion as well, and now they're trying to dive in on towards TNZ. Definitely the Prestige just trying to press their, trying to press their early game advantage and make something happen so that they carry it out. Alien forced the flicker. Apex 47 miss on the onward. Here comes the Earth Shatter, but Sonohara gets Alien, and First Blood it goes to Moji, as they should have easy control of this first turtle right now.
Yeah, there's some early aggression. Trying to force out the retry here. I think they did lose that.
Oh, heavy spin coming out. A little too late, though. They don't get that blue buff. Oh, actually, Valentina did pick it up. So after Dark, you won't have to recall right now. But the Prestige just pressing their early game advantage. Along with this Panda, they should be able to pick up the turtle. But here comes Fireflux. Will they be able to steal it? Rosa almost gets it with the Astral Recall. And I think now they'll start focusing their attention on towards the goal lane.
Yeah, we're seeing just the meta comp being picked up by Prestige and the control that they're exerting at this point. Again, I think they went back to the drawing board, right? And now that they know the aggression is what they need to go with here. We see the blue buff invade already happening. Carmilla able to secure that. TNZ now on the retreat after stealing that. The Thief.
Hey, the Thief in the Night, quite dark indeed. The Countess skin as well. The Sicilian must be proud, you never know. But at the moment, Primal Rat, he goes for it, but he's flickering out just to make sure he survives, but he still goes down. Here comes Bennett's raise. They pick up the kill. I think they got mad, a little too tilted, and that's a double kill onto her Sunshine. And Moscow, Xiao, and Sonohara will fall down, and those are the ones you don't want to die in the early game, but here comes Alien along with Moji, bravest fighter, the Land Shaker, Raging Slash, doing all that they can, but the Ruby can take it all. This hero is quite tanky indeed.
I think some people just forget that Beatrix's SMGs are so powerful in the early stages. She just does so much damage. Looks like they're opting to keep the RPGs out here early. We can already see that. Look at the damage!
Oh,
switch to your guns!
Hey, who needs to switch anything, right? I know you're like, I want to see this. Yeah, I want to see that sniper come out, just like G said, but who needs it when you got a rocket launcher on towards After Dark? He's forced to, he didn't even purify, so good timing, understanding what the damage they can tank. But I think at this point, the Renner shot coming out. The snipe is real. Purify 4-star from Asmo as well. And you can see Sunshine already started to hurt. And this is where Beatrix wants to be, in the middle of that snowball. 2-0-1 already. I wish we could take a look at the goal lead that she has. But for sure, definitely going to start hurting a little bit more now.
I mean, you can already see it's about a one-level lead at this point. Again, that's kind of what shifts the gold back into their momentum.
Heavy spin coming out from Sonohara to zone them away. They should be able to pick up the turtle. Yes, they do. Fireflux, although they're trying to get their advantage, they're not able to do so. Curse of Blood coming out. The link is there, but After Dark able to separate himself from Sonohara. So every time the Carmilla pulls out the Curse of Blood, they're trying to move apart. And that's the cue for the Prestige to back off, because they definitely don't want to be picking a fight, especially when Sunshine or Rosa are around. Ooh, who's going to get that? Ah, that was a nice little bout. Shao picked it up anyway.
Yeah, he hit it with the spear and moved it out of the way of the RPG. It was, I mean, quite the micro play, to be honest. Again, head-to-heads, jungles are looking about equal. Right now, you can see a 4,600, 1,000 gold lead here for the marksman. Sunshine able to secure the kill once again on the Moskov, and another kill off screen here down on the EXP lane. While we're looking at the head-to-head, really the only thing keeping Fireflux ahead at this point is Sunshine.
Yeah, that's true, and that's the one you want to keep ahead as well, because that's where your damage output is for the rest of the, compared to the rest of the team. And I think we kind of jinxed the Aliens. I think I kind of jinxed Aliens' performance, because he was doing so well in the first one. Now 0-0. So call it the caster's curse, right, G? That's what you call it. I wouldn't say I'm proud, but I mean, at the moment, look at Bennett's Rage. They forced it off. Start getting it so low. There it is, the I'm offended. They pick up the kill as well. Rosa's the one to pick up the pieces there. And here comes Circling Eagle. Will they get the knockup? No, dashing out of harm's way. TNZ already eating up quite a lot of damage. Heavy spin is there. Shao, will he do the damage that is necessary?
No.
He pushes him away from the misery. And Apex 47 is there to save his teammate, along with a Primal Rat. Chain Lightning coming out. Will we see the damage? No, they don't. Rosa. The Astro Recall, but not enough damage to take down Shao. But look at Shao, he's just dancing his way. He's trying to get Rosa right now. He does not have the Inspire, doesn't have the enough lifesteal as well, and Asmo gets knocked up with the Onward. And that's some good fight coming out from Fireflux Esports.
Sniper?
I don't think we're playing a MOBA, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're playing FPS right now, because that was one snipe after another.
Oh, this is how I think this is something that we need to talk about, is that way back, in the last World Series, if I'm not mistaken, they had the Navaria Beatrix combo, and it actually scaled really well. So 2 snipers, as you were saying, is just insane at this point. They're switching guns like no tomorrow. The RPGs.
Ooh, look at the damage coming out. Sonohara, that's a tanky Akai, and he's been burst down instantly as well. The Astral Echo to provide some vision. That Circling Eagle being used up. Raging Slash just to clear the way. But look at the I'm offended cast 3, and they get everybody that was necessary. The front line is out of harm's way, and they're out for the side of Prestige. And right now, Fireflux Esports definitely pressing their advantage. Misses the Spear of Destruction. Oh my god, what a play. Alien.
Alien might be offended.
Yeah, look at that. I'm offended once again. I like to play words, G, because right now they definitely can't do anything to save themselves. Tier 1 turret in the mid lane falls. So all tier 1's taken by Fireflux, and I think they're starting to press their advantage. And this is the Fireflux that we know. 5,000 gold lead. Turn it into the snowball that they would love on their side.
Yeah, they flicker the switch into the mid game here. Fireflux now online. Again, Prestige having decent control into the early game, but not able to secure any of the towers. I really think they need to focus more on, towers and those neutral objectives, but...
Ooh, will we see that? The cameraman showing us a crazy angle, but there it is. The I'm offended once again after the heavy spin was used. The flicker along with Onward and Bennett's Rage missing out. Asmo is able to get out of there. None so far from the side of Prestige. But look at that. They still want to press their advantage. No minions whatsoever to provide anything. But Shao here in no man's land just caught absolutely. He's kiting everybody. And look at that. He's still able to survive.
They were too hungry, too greedy, trying to take him out, but a little bit of a broken ankle action here.
Oh, Yui's Alien gets caught this time, circling Eagle, but I think they're trying to bite off more than they could chew. They get burst down along with the slow coming in from Curse of Blood. TNZ finally picks up the first kill for himself, but the kill score already 11-3 towards the side of Fireflux Esports, and I think they're focusing their attention to the Lord, unless Sonohara has a different dance on the other side. Yeah,
Panda's hunting.
Moji gets caught. Ooh, he gets hunted down. Here comes the concealed Sunshine. I think they're trying to find out Sonohara. They pick him out, and there it is, TNZ. Sonohara, heavy spin to get out of there. The Lord is reset, and Fireflux Esports definitely in the driver's seat right now.
This is like a team that you can't hide in a bush on, you know? Like they felt it. They checked the map. They knew. They're like, where is this Pandy? Where's this cheeky Pandy at, huh? And he was in the bush, and they knew it.
Tell me about it. And they didn't want any of that whatsoever. And look at that. Now they're trying to press their advantage. And Apex 47, this Edith has been a key. It's a tank, but look at the kill total 4, 1, and 5. Oh my god, what an I'm offended on towards Sonohara. Absolutely caught him off guard. And right now they're trying to catch Apex 47, but that's a tank. That's a really beefy one. And here they come. The knockup is being used. And Raging Slash to get our hearts. Penetrates to get everything started. But the damage is too much for them to take. And the SMG from Nibiru. Nibiru's passion picking up the pieces, and here comes Spear of Destruction just to defend, but Apex 47 with the flicker play, absolute monster, and the snipe coming in from Rosa as well. Oh my god!
As this dang cameraman wouldn't stop changing angles.
Fireflux Esports, what are we watching? This is an absolute display of sheer skill coming out from their side, and I think it's looking bleak for the side of the Prestige because, gee, I think that was such a good display of how to layer your skills in these team fights. And now the Prestige needs to fight back, but they can't because the Amber Fender comes out from Yui's Alien once again. And look at Sonohara. He's forced to use the heavy spin and gets taken down so low. The Lord is marching.
God.
They get to the After Dark as well as the Lord crashes onto the crystal, takes the base. Game number 2, once again with a 10,000 plus goal lead.
Definitely a little bit of a dominance by Prestige into the early game, but ultimately Fireflux coming back into the mid to late game was too much for them to handle. The combinations, the double snipes, the I'm offended from every angle. Fireflux just asserting great control. We can kind of take a look at some of these highlights, Kronos.
Yeah, the highlights. First few minutes of the game, Alien did have a good one, and I was saying, did we jinx it? And look at towards the end, those I'm offended, absolutely monstrous, along with the Don't Run Wolves. King and Shao every time caught between a rock and a hard place. Apex 47 being the front line, and this was an absolute nasty one. The double snipe, and this was the 3-man I'm offended that caught the front line of the Prestige, and it was just. Once Alien started getting these big I'm offended, it just happened to be a big snowball and they couldn't really do anything about it. Just goes to show how open this meta is right now, and anyone can really be played anywhere.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, it was just good to finally see, you know, a dual sniper combo coming out. Kind of forgetting about that combination that you know, teams have used in the past, you know, and that now it's just like they're reviving the past, and it's cool to see that, you know, a little bit of changes here and there, allowing other heroes to actually have a spotlight into the Snapdragon Pro Series. Fireflux coming out with some spicy picks this time around, so can't wait to see what they pull out for this next series.
Yeah, I think I want to see a little bit more of that Ruby. I know you were excited about the Beatrix G, but I think the Ruby kind of stole the show for us. Let's see who I want to see who the MVP was. I don't know if I missed it, but
It was
Yeah,
Sunshine.
Sunshine, absolute monster on the Beatrix, right? The snipes, the damage, the Bennett's rage. I know you didn't get to see a lot of the snipe shots from the Renner, but I think you got a treat for your eyes whenever he hit them. And you can see the smile on his face, folks. You know, that's what it's all about for us casters. We like to see some great action so we can bring it to you at the same time. And it I know you like the damage that's being dished out, but I love those sets, right? I'm a tank player myself, and I love these sets that come out. Apex 47, Alien with the I'm Offended. Oh my god. That was beautiful.
It was crazy. I mean, it was just the combination of the synergy of their whole team was just phenomenal. I mean, there was nothing you couldn't see coming from Fireflux. They just kept pulling out tricks out of their hat, controlling the overall flow of the combat. And even though they were losing turtles left and right, it really doesn't matter until you get to the Lord, right? The first Lord is what normally makes it and breaks it for a team. And Fireflux, they knew that. Like they knew that dealing with the pandas heavy spin, trying to farm up was all they needed to do at this point. 1, 2, 3 turtles don't make it or break it for a team. It's all about controlling and taking as much as you possibly can, and I can tell you that they took as much as they possibly could from them.
I mean, they were, the Carmilla TNZ was being a thief in the night, and Fireflux just stole everything. Just yanked the rug from under them, and the Prestige backs against the wall. But that means there's nowhere else to go but attack. And I think this is the time they got to pull off those pocket picks, pull off that Layla in the gold lane. We're going to pull out that Saber in the jungle that all of us want to see. It's just...
now you're just being...
I'm just, I don't know. I'm just joking.
You're just
I'm just
spitballing
joking,
at this
folks.
point. Nah.
No, I'm just joking, folks. Of course, they have better picks on their side. They're a professional team. Don't forget about it. Although they're having not the greatest of games, that just goes to show how great the other team is at the same time, and how big this tournament is, and the prize pool that's up for grabs. Everybody wants a piece of that pie. And at this moment, the semifinals, best of 5 series, 2 games of Fireflux Esports, the Prestige. The Fireflux should be looking for a sweep to make it an easy day for themselves, but I think on the other side, the Prestige will be looking at making that miracle comeback. We've seen it happen in the grandest of grandest stages, right? We've seen the reverse sweep happen, so what goes to show that it can't happen here? Because like I said before, I think you agree, it's not over until the fat lady sings.
Or someone sings, that's for sure. Either be Fireflux or Prestige at this point. Right now, Prestige, I mean, they're trying to pull out some decent comps, but it just seems like every corner that they take, Fireflux just has like 6 more corners that they just whip out on them, so it's gonna be an interesting take. Does Fireflux keep up their unorthodox picks? I mean, because that was the first time we've seen a Julian, the first time we've seen a Beatrix, and I mean, the first time we've seen a Farja. So again, there's just a lot of first times coming from Fireflux taking out Prestige. It kind of seems like they're taking a little bit longer this time around, so maybe they're actually going back to the drawing board and be like, hold up, we're about to be knocked out. We got to do something here.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. I think this is the time where they got to regroup, take a step back, take a breather. Hey, guys, I know we're 2-0 down in this best of 5. It's match point on the other side, but it's not over until it's over. We're going to fight back, and if we're going to go down, we're going to go down swinging, because at this point, they definitely need to change up something, and I think it all starts with the draft, like you mentioned, G. So maybe they could start pull out those pocket picks that they love. I know it's not a Layla. It could be something else. It could be a Bruno in the goal lane that absolutely works. The Ixia works as well. And, maybe a different roamer at this point, because the Matilda doesn't seem to be working out so far. And maybe a different jungler. Just try to put someone on the assassins, pull off the Ling. If you got a Fanny in your hands, why not do the same? And maybe just try to prioritize something, change up something at this point, because if they don't, Fireflux is just going to definitely run away with it. And by the looks of things and the reputation that they've created for themselves, Fireflux Esports definitely the favorites to not just take the series, but also the entire tournament.
Yeah, 100%. last game could make it or break it for him. Prestige backed up against the wall. Fire Flux pulling out some unorthodox picks. I kind of want to know what they're gonna go with this time around. Or they just, I mean, they could just switch it up and just go straight to normal picks at this point, you know. And we'll see. We'll see. I wonder. It was also kind of weird that they didn't ban a hero. I think it might have been like what you said, the Fredrin ban. Because we didn't, I don't think we've seen Fredrin at all. And who would pick an Akai over a Fredrin, right?
I know, right? I know. I was about to say, like, if the Fredrin is open, you better pounce on that, because I think you can just build any sort of a composition around the Fredrin, just because he's so versatile. He has the CC, he has a knockup, he has the damage, he's able to steal lords, he's tanky, he's able to pull people back, and he dishes out the damage while taking it all at the same time. So definitely something that they would have pounced upon, but just goes to show that that definitely was the ban coming out in the final, in the final stage of the first phase. But also at the same time, now we're just pretty excited to see Match Point come out from the side of Fireflux Esports, because I think we're going straight to the draft, and they didn't waste any time for now, folks, because 4 bans on the board, 3 picks up already. The Alice being taken off from the Prestige, because I think they're trying to force it into an Alice with the Angela combination. The Nate is still available, but not needed, since gold laners are being taken already. The Clint, I like. This is what we're talking about. Get those pocket picks up and running. The Boxia being taken up. Yeah, I know we don't like the Boxia, but at the same time, it has the utility, right? It has the utility. You can give them the benefit of the doubt just because they have the Clint to get that true damage. Jesus shaking his head like, no benefit of the doubt. No Boxia instead. Me no want no Boxia.
Well, you're also, like, the combo, you're comboing it, right, is with the Matilda as well. So, like, you're already, I mean, maybe if they're just going as fast as they possibly can. I mean, two fast utilities right out of the get-go. I can't see it. I can't see it.
It's usually the Tokyo Drift that I would like to, cite this time, that music, but you can call this the European Drift, where having the box just roll out all of a sudden, and then the Matilda just gliding along at the same time. So, I mean, but look at that. They ban out the Benedetta and the Joy. I'm not sure why they would take out the Joy. The Joy is not the greatest pick over here, so I think Prestige are panicking a little bit just to protect the Clint as much as they can. And the Terizla being picked up, so that's something good for their side. But at the same time, I think Fireflux have a plethora of picks right now to pick from, especially if I'm not wrong. Am I missing out on a Fredrin? Why is there nobody picking up a Fredrin? Yeah, I'm about to say.
An Angela Fredrin combo is normally not the best, so I like it. I mean, we'll see. And they pull out the Ruby. What? Okay, Ruby, Rome, Angela mid, Yuzong EXP, Moskov. What? Like,
running back.
Fireflux at this point. What are you picking?
I mean, they showed something else. They showed a little bit of... Yeah, no, they showed us a glimmer on game number 1, and then they showed another on game number 2. Now they're just like, hey, why don't we get the best of both worlds, combo both the drafts up, and that's what they cooked up for us right now, along with the Angela. The Angela pairs so well with the rest of the 4 picks that are there on board. But on the other side, I like this Faramis being picked up, only because it provides an extra bit of survivability. But the question is for how long, and who's going to stop this Julian, because we saw the Julian power spike is not around level 8, not level 7, not the 8-minute mark. It's when he hits that level 3. Exactly. Yeah. Level 3, he's going to start dishing out the damage. And if he builds those arcane boots, oh my god, he's going to start hurting and hitting like a truck. So, yeah. Prestige better have a game plan.
The only hero in the game to be able to get his ultimate by level 3. Something just happened.
Hey, something just happened. We're waiting to find out. What I know is for sure the other side are definitely looking to make a comeback with the Prestige, but at the same time, Fireflux Esports want to make this a clean 3-0 sweep, but to make sure they are making a statement to the rest of the teams that are there in the semifinals of the Snapdragon Pro Series that they are the top team to beat. They are the favorites for a reason, especially move, as they've also, I believe, qualified for the MSC. So just making a stake at their, making a claim at their stake, and at this point, look at TNZ getting his blue buff started. I think there's a little bit of a bout in the mid lane, but seems like the cameraman likes that JJK skin a lot.
I mean, it is definitely a really good skin to highlight. Also, not only that, but it is the second time that this hero has been utilized, so maybe that is why they're, you know, highlighting it. But early after dark, Rosa.
Not the brightest start for the Prestige, because I think you want the Faramis to scale to have that a big Nether Realm to provide the damage. Yes, Faramis is a support, but he can dish out a lot of damage with those Ghostbusters. And looking at the fact that he will not be getting that power spike might come back to hurt them a little bit. So they better not get caught out like this quite often, because then Flux Esports definitely will have a clear path to victory.
That early snowball is for sure there. I mean, as long as you can outburst the Faramis or stun him, which is, I feel like, what Apex has here. Almost gets caught, forces out the flicker. Also, the gold lane flicker came out as well. Like Sonoharu trying to do a little bit of a cheeky play here.
The box here rolling around. Tortoises Poissons. Quite early, I would say, because the turtle is up right now. We're not going to have that extra bit of movement speed that you need. And at the same time, both the roamers trying to hit that level 4 power spike. Apex 47 should be the first one. Yes, he is. Asmo's still going to be a little late to the party, as Apex 47 does have the I'm offended. Should be coming out any minute now. There it is, and they pick up the turtle on the side of Flux Esports. Thank to that CC. And here comes the Black Dragon form, along with the Heart Guard. Petrify being used after dark, forced to pop the Nether Realm even. And at the moment, looks like Prestige once again backs against the wall, while Flux Esports definitely the predator in this game as well.
Yeah, 100%. And kind of looking at what's going down here.
Ooh, they get the kill on towards Moji. And it's been a good show of skills at the same time. Flux Esports prioritizing the EXP lane because they know the alien is one of their keys to victory, and utilizing that at the most. But look at After Dark, he gets caught with the I'm offended, but here comes the enhanced chain, pick up the kill, and the Circling Eagle can't really do much. Although taking down Apex 47 quite low, does have the spell weapons defense buff to sustain as long as you can, and I think TNZ already starting to snowball. 2 kills on the board, 3 minutes 30 seconds into the game, not even 30. Yeah, this Julian's gonna start scaling really quick.
I mean, 3 kills, already secured 2 on the TNZ, 100%. Huge for them at this point. You can kind of see, Apex.
Ooh, I thought he got caught. Circling Eagle. He does have the I'm offended. Doesn't want to use it yet. Sonohara is able to dash out of there as well. After Dark playing with fire a little bit, but I think he should be a little more careful because he got picked off twice already now. And that's not where you want to be if you're a Faramis, especially possibly the only one to provide a lot of magic damage. So Apex 47 doing an absolute tremendous job in this roam position. Getting that river control against the Matilda, not quite easy.
Yeah, and right now Flux looking for that snowball. They're controlling it early on, already trying to show that aggression onto the box. Yeah, Turtle is definitely leading into the favor of Flux at this point, controlling the turtle pit. You can already see the gold graph just skyrocketing, looking like a stock market exchange over here.
Yeah, speaking of the exchange, look at that. I'm offended on towards 3. They exchange the kill on towards Shao, the first one to fall on the side of Prestige in that team fight after the turtle. Enhanced chain, will they be able to get something? Sonohara, Nether Realm popped quite instantly. He wants to roll out of there, but I don't think they're going to let him, and Apex 47 gets that kill as TNT is now invading into the opposition jungle. And Asmo with the guiding wind gets caught. No, he does not. I thought he was going to get knocked up right there.
Wow.
Rosa, oh my god. Apex 47, absolute beast, just flickering into the turret. Does not care whatsoever. Flux Esports showing their dominance in game number 3 in this best of 5 series.
I'm not going to lie, mechanically wise right now, Oh, greedy.
Ooh.
Sunshine.
That's the kind of greed that we're talking about in the Bible.
Get out of here. You're a funny guy. You're a funny guy. Right now, though, to be honest, Apex on fire. Just the I'm offended securing multiple sets left and right. And not only that, paired with TNZ, the Julian, that wolf is just something you don't want to get hit by with that combo. It is a snowball effect. 5,000 gold lead in 5 minutes. That's 1,000 gold per minute right now.
1,000 gold per minute, a little too much for Prestige to keep up with. And at the same time, look at that's the wolf that you're talking about. The chain, the enhanced chain is doing so much damage at this point. And Rosa just by himself zoning everyone away. Yeah, look at that enhanced sight being used to zone them away at the same time, and it all comes down to this early snowball. They're 8-0, almost trying to get a perfect game on their side. So Sonohara gets caught, and adds sight once again to get the damage going. Nether Realm just to make sure they survive. Yui's alien, use a Black Dragon, get out there. Hard guard is available, and I think they're trying to go for the re-engage from the side of the Prestige. It is the right idea, but they don't have the damage. And on the other side, Sunshine is just pushing these turrets while once again, Fireflux Esports able to pick up this turtle. This is the third turtle of their game, and they get it for free.
Yeah. Again, good thing they didn't get that tunnel vision, but another collide happening here. Big mid lane push. Are they gonna go in for it or not? No, looks like they're gonna back out. Kind of looking at the head-to-head, everybody is about 1,000 to 2,000 gold lead. Besides the marksman at this point, the Clint definitely keeping the Moskoff at bay. He's trying to get as much as he possibly can at this point, because everybody else is already what, 2 kills, 3 kills, 2 kills. Like, he's a little behind on the kills.
I think behind on the kills is an understatement. They're still on a 0 because Fireflux Esports goes for the I'm offended. Once again, the playmaker coming in from Apex 47 catches the Prestige off guard with that flicker I'm offended. And now they can't really do anything but watch them take down their turret one by one, because now they're trying to get the mid lane tier 2, and TNG trying to flank the back line. He has the combo and has Shane to provide the knockup, misses completely, but the hard guard to help him sustain. And I think they want to go for the re-engage, because here comes the minions once again in the mid lane. I'm offended with the knockup along with the petrify. Is that enough? After Dark, NetherRealm just popped him instantly. He will get burst down after the Shadow Stampede as well. But look at that enhanced to pick up the kill. Will they be able to get TNZ? Yes, they do. Finally, they get 2 kills on the board for the side of the Prestige. But will that be enough? Because look at that, they're going on towards Sunshine. He flickers forward, quick draw. No, he gets that Purify, and he's able to get out of there thanks to pushing them away with the Spear of Misery. Meanwhile, on the other side, they get the other kill. They pick up Sonohara, and they want to go for more Black Dragon form. Will they be able to get the Shao Essence? Yes, they do. Shao able to pick up the pieces. And now they're going for more. Hard guard is available once again. Shadow Stampede. Wow. So will they see? They pick up another one. These team fights are extended to no end. And Fireflux Esports, just when they thought they dropped the ball, they pick it back up and they have to control once again.
I mean, it was just greedy by Prestige to chase that Moskoff for so far, while they weren't even worrying about the back line, and just Rosa, an alien, able to take advantage of Boxia being out of position and not really being able to get away. Again, it's just a great pair here. Sunshine all alone. 1v3.
Ooh, yeah, I'm offended again. Apex 47. You know what, G? If he does not get MVP, I think I'm going to be a little disappointed here. 10,000 goal lead, 10 minutes into the game. He has a 15 kill, participation so far, but the enhanced chain to get the knockup. Oh my god, I thought Asmo was down and out right there. Able to survive, slightest bit of HP. But yes,
his nickname needs to be Apex Predator, not just Apex.
It should be, the Predator right on top, because he's been an absolute monster with this Ruby. Oh my god, I'm offended with the flicker once again. The Black Dragon going out at the right time. And just as you called it, G, he is there. Oh, circling eagle, gets the triple man knockup. A little too late. Furious Man with the petrify. Gets 3. Double kill on towards Alien. And they're going straight for the base. They should be, but no, they want to kill on towards After Dark. And they should be able to get that as well. Double kill. They're going for the full 5-man wipeout in this instance because they don't want to leave any stone unturned. And for now, Fireflux Esports, a clean sweep against the Prestige to take them all the way to the Grand Finals.
Clean sweep, like you just said, against Prestige Fireflux. To be honest, man, I think if Apex doesn't get the MVP here, I'll be super surprised. I mean, 2-0 and 14, the EXP lane, but for some reason, I mean, just not EXP, the Rome, just for some reason, being the Predator in this case. Crazy.
Yeah, man, if you take a look, every single play, every single highlight, there is Apex 47 in the thick of it with that I'm offended, right? Every single time, apart from this one probably, even then he comes back and then gets the I'm offended going. Absolutely a monster. And he's just there in the thick of it every single time. Doesn't want to miss out on the action. And here, once again, look at that. I'm offended. Gets the target. And I don't think they ever let After Dark have a single moment to breathe. And that's where the difference maker coming out for the side of the Prestige and for the Fireflux Esports, because they realize that After Dark should be the sole target, because if you start scaling, it'll be a problem for their team. And hunted him down ever since the minions spawned into the Land of Dawn, ever since second one. They just kept on After Dark, and he didn't have a great game. And that turned into a snowball that Fireflux just capitalized on. And then Apex 47 absolutely shining on that Ruby.
100%. I mean, it was well executed. Second time being pulled out. Controlled a lot of the fights. And I mean, paired with TNZ, the synergy between Apex and the whole team is just there. They're looking good. And I mean, they're oiled at this point, right? Like, they're ready to go into the finals, and there it is, the MVP. I was like, there ain't no way you're gonna give it to someone else at this point. Like, that was too well executed.
Yeah, and look at the emblem setup as well. I want to highlight that a little bit. Goes for the tank emblem, concussive blast to get the wave clear, yes, but goes for the mastery. So basically, gets that CD reduction along with tenacity, so able to survive. Doesn't go for that spell cooldown, and I think if I was there, I would possibly go for that, just because you have the flicker available every single time. But with the way that he was giving the sets, not missing out on the flicker, just wanted to sustain to give that extra bit of CC for the rest of his team. Yeah, it's just a perfect display of how to play Ruby, folks. If you want to play a Ruby, want to learn how to play a Ruby roam, Apex 47 was given an absolute display. If you joined just now, make sure to go back a little bit, watch that replay, because yeah, you don't want to miss that highlights for ages. And I think GD Ico was just, he was surprised as well. The flicker, I'm offended. I didn't even know you could use that.
I mean, every moment you suspected you were safe behind your tower, Apex just said nope, and he was in there. He was in there. Being the Predator, he was like, all right, guys, sit back. I'll engage. You just follow up, right? You just follow up, and I got you. They took great advantage of their utility, and just goes to show that if you're probably playing against Fireflux, you probably might want to ban the Ruby, because right now their synergy and their team comps utilizing that Ruby is just massive. It was just way too much for him, to be honest.
Yeah, the flexibility that the Ruby brought to the table as well, right? Even Alien played it previously in the EXP lane. And Apex 47, what a display. What a display. I love seeing tanks getting the MVP. And congratulations to Fireflux Esports to move on to the finals. And thank you for, your participation and doing really great so far for the side of the Prestige. You made a name for yourself in the Snapdragon Pro Series. Came down all the way from their qualifier open finals to now the Challenger finals. Made it to the semifinals, and unfortunately had to go against a team as strong as Fireflux. And didn't come out on, got the short end of the stick. But for now, I think Fireflux Esports definitely coming out on, definitely going to show that they are the ones to beat. They're the top dog in this tournament, as we even thought about it before it started. So we're just waiting for the next game to come about. Birthright versus Twisted Minds. Who you got for that one, G?
I mean, right now, I would probably say it kind of looks like both of them are a little equal, you know? I mean, they both 3-1 the team. Twisted Minds, I think, faced S2G Esports, which I think is a little bit of a higher tier team than Moon Knights. So it could be either team's game, but I think Twisted Minds has the most experience here. I think Birthright's a little bit more of the underdog in this situation, so I'm probably gonna go with Twisted Minds. I feel like we just seen Fireflux twist some minds, and I mean we'll see. I feel like can Twisted Minds take on Birthright and then face against Fireflux, a team that is just absolutely twisting our minds, versus a namesake, right?
Yeah, that's with some more minds, right? They got a brain in their logo, I think. It looks like one at least. So, at this moment, just a play in words going on here. Just GDI having his fun early in the morning for a rise and shine indeed after those games. And
I need another coffee.
Yeah, for sure. I'm still not done having mine. It's like what 5:20 in the afternoon, in the evening, early evening, whatever you might want to call it. But yes, I'm just excited to see how it's gonna go. And I believe, look at the brackets, as their Birthright versus Twisted Minds will be the next one. I thought it was gonna be the first game, but it seems like they went for the Fireflux game. And no, the finals already. Fireflux Esports just making their way all the way to the grand finals through that big journey that they had. But for now, Twisted Minds versus Birthright, and like I said, that is a game that's worthy of a final. So don't be surprised, folks, and G, if it's gonna go all the way to game number 5, because I have a feeling it might. I just have a feeling it might, and we might get some 30-minute games. We might get some 30-minute games. Just saying.
I'm just gonna wipe the sweat off already. You're like prepping me here.
Yeah, at least stay prepared to make sure we don't get surprised by anything, right, for now. And I think it just goes to show how much these teams want it. That's what it's all about. How much these teams want that prize, how much they want that, that first place, to make sure that they are also a dominant team in the European MENA and Turkey side of things with the Snapdragon Pro Series. So my name is G Chronos, and that's G the Icon. I think we'll be taking a short break, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be
The Snapdragon Pro Series is brought to you by Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, Monster Energy, and DHL.
What is up, everybody? We are back here with the second series in the Snapdragon series here. It's gonna be a great time. Next to me again, you guys didn't know and you guys are just getting here, I'm G the Ico, and you have Kronos over there casting alongside me in some of these epic games. How you feeling in the second series?
Hey, thank you for calling me sexy right there, G. I appreciate that. You know, I was about to say, I don't probably look as good as G the Icon, folks. It could be the lighting of, his, it could be the lighting of his room. It could be the lighting of mine. But for sure, if I got a nice studio, I'll probably look better. But, you heard it from himself. He called me sexy himself. But there it is. I'll take that while I get
the
it.
lighting. we can get a little moody in here, you know.
Hey, you know who would like to get moody though? For sure, all the viewers from Europe, because now we're talking about two of the top teams in Europe: Birthright and Twisted Minds. Twisted Minds willing to twist some minds of Birthright right now, and Birthright trying to claim what is the rightfully theirs, at least by namesake. So for now, I think these are the top two teams that have made it so far, and they are definitely going to put on a show for us. And I would love to see a best of 5 series, but at the same time, it might be a quick 3-0 as well, unless and until, both the teams are really well prepared. It all comes down to preparation for this, I think, because, being in the same region, being in some of the same similar tournaments so far, they should be ready to pounce on the opportunity, especially now for a place in the finals in the Snapdragon Pro Series. Like you mentioned, they're definitely going to be there. Look at that. Some of the highlights that they have showed for their side. Birthright here against Moon Knights, absolute monsters. Alejandro just going ham with this Martis whenever. Look at that maniac coming in as well. And here comes a big Minoan Fury from their side. At the same time, Maru being a crucial pin in the crucial piece in their entire system, along with Cuffin, absolute beast in that mid lane. So, every single person in their team plays their role to the absolute fullest, and it goes to show how important each and every single minute and each and every second of this game will be for their side. And Twisted Minds, G, I think they're no strangers. You love them, the twisting minds of what they do in their games, like you call it. I mean, you've seen most of their games. I have too, but I've spoken enough. You take the spotlight for a second. I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I mean, Twisted Minds. They have Maro, Zoda, and a couple other new people onto the roster. But again, they're still an amazing team up now. I think, like I was saying earlier, I think Birthright's a little bit more of the underdog in this type of situation, but they actually have some heavy hitters as well in their comp, so you never know what's going to happen here. It could be Twisted Minds, it could be Birthright. I think it's going to come down to who trained more for the certain situations that are going to be coming up here. I mean, the biggest thing that I've seen from a lot of Birthright's drafts is that they, of course, they enjoy picking up the low yi, and that is just something that do we see that slip through the cracks here?
Yeah, I mean, you never know. It possibly could. And right now, we can see that the side of Twisted Minds all got a jersey on their side. Could be the jersey buff that could make the difference. While on the other side, Chung Myung here just going absolutely left field and picking up the red t-shirt to stand out quite a bit. I like how he's just standing out on those PFPs. But at the same time, look at the bands. The Paquito taken off, the Matilda taken off, the Herod rightfully so. And I like you mentioned that, about the Louis, and I think Birthright will be looking to leave the Louis up for grabs. And, Louis or Chip. I was going to say pitch for some reason. But yeah, they're going to leave the Louis and the Chip up for grabs. And they're probably going to ban out the Fredrin here right now. So, at least for their side. So Twisted Minds need to decide if they want to give either away, or will they be willing to ban out both of them?
To be honest, I think it's what you're saying, right? Ban out both. Ban out the low yi here. Ban out the Chip. I don't think Birthright's gonna ban out the low Yi because they want it. I think that we'll definitely see them ban out something, maybe like the Brats, ban out the Fredrin. They could ban out, I mean, the Moskov. Again, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that they could possibly ban out here.
Yeah, I think they should be going for the Moskov route just because they want to give the question to Twisted Minds. What are they willing to give? Are they willing to give the Fredrin, or are they willing to give the Lu Yi? So either way, Birthright gets something that they can run with and they can build around. So Moscow, and at the same time, they banned the Angela. Yes, I mean Angela is a strong pick, but for now, so basically they're giving away the Moskov to Twisted Minds for sure, because they pick up the Fredrin or the Lu Yi. The Moskov is definitely going to be picked up on the other side. Just going to be paired with what we do not know. So Twisted Minds have the ball right now. Where are they going to throw? They're going to ban out the Lu Yi, or they're going to ban out the Fredrin. That's the big question right now.
I mean, they could force it, but I mean, they already banned the chip, so why would they leave the second most mobile hero for a whole team open? I feel like Twisted Minds should know, and they don't. They leave it open. I mean, we already know what Birthright's picking up.
Yeah, it has to be the Lu Yi. It has to be the Lu Yi because they want to make sure they have their game revolving around Danny at the moment, and it's been going so well, thus far. So the Lu Yi, but at the same time, now once you pick up the Lu Yi, you're giving away the Fredrin and the Moskov on the other side, and no Roger means the Moskov is even gonna have a better time in lane. Yeah, the only one that can counter him is the Nathan or the Natan, however you want to call it. But at the same time, I don't think you want to be picking up such a mid to late game hero by picking up, rack up the magic damage on your side. So yeah, there's the Lu Yi. So I shouldn't be surprised. Boy, 40 bans. Have you ever thought 40 different bans? I don't even know if we've had 40 matches. Like, I'm surprised. They go for the Arlot on Soda. And he's been doing really well on that as well. So I mean, rightfully so, but I think we should be looking at Fredrin, right? Unless they're just going to be like, hey, we don't want the Fredrin.
Yeah. I mean, they don't have to, but they do opt to go for it. It's just a safe pick at this point,
It's the safest pick, you think you can say, right? It's not just a safe pick, it's the safest pick in the current meta. You can always go for a Fredrin first pick. You can pick him at any phase of the game because he fits into any composition. It's like it's like you just drop him in the middle of anywhere. He's just gonna blend right in, and that's what this Fredrin is. And pairing it up with this Arlot, again, a lot of CC on board. Arlot flex into the roam, flex into the EXP. Fredrin flex into the jungle, flex into the EXP. So it's a matter of time to see how they will go about their draft. But on the other side, Birthright now, they have to respond. Will they go for carry? Will they go for a Moskov? There's also the Claude, but I don't think the Claude's the greatest against an Arlot or, I was going to say Boxia, Terizla. They picked them up right off the bat. Look at Terizla's win rate, 62%. And Boxia, I mean, no surprises there, right? 30%. 20% higher than we thought.
Still not a fan of it. I feel like he's just heavy baggage at this point. Like, it's going to make it a lot harder for the Lu Yi. Make it a lot harder for the Terizla to actually scale and do something. They pick up the Valentina as well. I mean, right now, Twisted Minds is looking pretty stacked. I overall favor a Fredrin over a Boxia at this point. Boxia, the only benefit he has is the early control and the quickness in the jungle, but that's about it. Diving into the second banning phase, though, you can see the Tigreal already getting banned out as well. What are they going to respond here? Do they go for another tank? Is the Arlot a tank or an EXP, though?
That's the flex that's there on the side of Twisted Minds, right? So they're forcing out the choke in the roam position. The Minotaur is still available for both sides. And I like the Valentina from Cuffin because he's been an absolute monster. We saw in some of those highlights. We've seen in the previous games as well. He is an absolute monster. Steals away the right ultimates, and he could be a difference maker. I spoke about the Minotaur, and Birthright just ban out the Minotaur. So they definitely have a game plan on their side. But Twisted Minds now, I think they should be starting to focus on a little bit in the gold lane, maybe take out the Nathan, just so they can pick up the carry or the Claude. But again, I think they should probably focus on the Roam choke down Alejandro because there are still too many gold laners up for grabs here.
True. And some of the gold laners that could be utilized, right? I mean, all of them. All of them. Besides the Roger and the Harith, I guess, right? I mean, you could pick up the Moskov if Twisted Minds is able to secure the Moskov. Could be huge, but I think Birthright's the next one to pick something up. They need some solid CC. I mean, they do have quite a bit of control on Birthright's side with the Terizla and the Lo Yi. But the biggest thing is Twisted Minds. They just have the Arlot and a little bit of a taunt by the Fredrin, right? So, and I guess a little bit of a fear by the Valentina. So maybe something like an Edith picked up on their side would probably go pretty good. They could put the Arlot into the EXP, Edith, Roam. Then you could solidify that solid CC. And then they ban out the Edith. So, again, they were already reading the positioning that Twisted Minds could have possibly taken. Now, the ban for Birthright, right? I mean, both need marksmen. So, I don't know if they'll ban a marksman. They could go for another Roam. The Minnow's already banned. The Tig's already banned. The Edith's already banned. I mean, they could ban a Kufra.
Yeah, I don't think it's... I think we kind of missed out on the ban because the final ban of the first phase or the second phase should go towards the blue side and the red side should pick up the first pick,
okay,
right?
Yeah.
So, I think we missed out on it once again. Probably definitely a system glitch, right?
Huh. I wonder what it was then. Oh well. Moskov slipped through the cracks.
Yeah, no. So they definitely banned out a roamer. I feel like there was a roam pick that was banned out there. I'm not sure what, but at this point, maybe the Carmilla even, right? Maybe the Carmilla was banned out as well because it provides a good zone in the roam position. And at this point, the Moscow, like you said, slipped through the cracks. Definitely gonna do all that damage. Gonna be rocking a Purify if I'm not wrong, because against the Louis, against the Terizla, you definitely want to have that extra bit of lifeline, I would say, with that Purify. And Birthright now will have to respond in the goal lane, maybe pick up the Nathan, and also maybe go for what's available in the roam position though. Like, I'm kind of, like, look at that. You have the crystal ball. This guys, this is not pre-recorded. Okay, this is not pre-recorded. You didn't see anything. But yeah,
every single one of them dash.
True, in a way. But I think Kufra. The problem with Kufra is you go all in or you go home, right? That's the thing with the Kufra. If you miss time and you misjudge your Tyrant's Revenge, you're just gonna be basically a sitting duck at that point, and that's why I love the Kufra. I play a lot of Kufra myself. It's just that's the bit of a negative aspect that it comes to playing in a really high professional setting, especially in the semifinals like this. Game number 1, where it's all on the line, and you want to make sure you make a stake, make a claim at the stake. And look at that, they put Soda on this Xborg, and they put Arlot on this roam position in the hands of Morrow. So the flex has worked out to fruition so far. But, the Arlot might have a great time thanks to the bouncing ball from Kufra. Yeah, it's a lot of juggling here.
That's wild, right? Yeah, because you're about to see Arlot roam, Fredrin EXP, and Xborg jungle. Yeah?
I think Xborg EXP Fredrin jungle, no?
You think? I don't know. We'll find out.
I think Fredrin jungle Xborg EXP. That's the route I would go. Just because you want to win the EXP, you want to have a little extra sustain, and Fredrin is just much better in the jungle, I feel like. If you have Xborg and Fredrin, you want to put the Fredrin in the jungle. Yes, the Xborg provides what you need, but You know, you are going against the Boxia, so it's up in the air. It's up in the air. So let's find out, right? Is GDX right or is Kronos right? Right? We'll find out. We'll find
Who's
out.
got the real crystal ball here? Me or you, huh? We'll find out as we're going to be getting into the Land of Dawn Game 1. Does look like they go Fredrin, Jungle, and then we see the Xborg into the EXP. If I'm not mistaken, though, they did show Zoda with the Xborg. So maybe they did a little bit of swapping here at the end. Wild. Guess I got to pass off the crystal ball to Kronos here.
And no, I think we call it a 1-1 score. You got the Kufra right, I got the Fredrin right. You know, while the teams are having their own series. Yeah, I know. While the teams are having their own series, we're having our own. So it's a 1-1 score, folks. Keep that in mind for those of you who are watching in the comments. Make sure you put that in the chat to keep it engaged. Because right now, definitely Birthright and Twisted Minds want to make a claim towards the finals, especially in this best of 5 series. Game number 1 will be where all the momentum is swinging and up for grabs. And I think you see the goal lane. That's where the focus is at the moment. Valentina a little late to the party, I feel like. And Kufra should be charging up the Tyrant's Revenge. The Arlot is there. Seems like the cameraman cares about the EXP battle a little bit more. There he goes. Tyrant's Revenge. It doesn't get anyone at this point. And
good old classic cameraman. You can never know what's gonna actually happen. He likes the good EXP. I bet he's an EXP player.
Yeah, and look at that. He gets the EXP battle that he wanted to see, and that is First Blood going in towards the side of Twisted Minds. And I think Export even flickered for that. I don't think that was needed, but you know, he did get something in return as the Turtle Spongy.
Yeah, let's see if the 50-50 and Alejandro over here could possibly go for it. We see a 3v2 possibly being taken down here.
The taunt is real on towards Morrow, just caught between a rock and a hard place, able to get out of there. You know, I thought he was gonna go down, and Soda didn't commit the Appraiser's Wrath, and Danny not level 4 yet does mean they don't have the teleportation from the diversion that they will need. However, I think Alejandro just wants to back off, because this is what the export provides, right? That zone that this team needs with those fire missiles. And Soda is just gonna start stealing some jungle creeps at the same time. Ooh, final
He didn't
slash.
use his retry.
Yeah,
he didn't use his retry, so it makes sense.
And the aggression. Oh, look at that diversion.
Oh.
Oh, I think he spotted it out.
some of the guys are just so map aware, you know, like they're. And again, I think that just comes down to like how the team communicates. So like, yeah, missing mid, missing jungle, not quite sure where Bosch is at, not sure where Kufra is at. So rather than sticking it out, also look at the ability to be able to just keep the canyon minion where you want them versus the other way around, right? So these are the micro plays that can change tides, but it did look like the, oh god.
Yeah, they're just gonna go ham at him. No,
he fed it though.
Out, but look at that, the Tyrant's Revenge into the rage, and Soda praises Wrath. He's still able to survive, but look at that, Spirit of Destruction is there at the same time. They get the kill on towards the Fredrin, and now here comes the penalty zone. Curtis's poison's used by Cuffin. Oh yes, Cuffin gets the double kill indeed. Able to pick it up for his team. Yes, they give 1, but take 2 in the process. While the EXP laners get a gentleman's handshake about clearing the waves on either side.
For some reason, when you said gentleman's handshake, I literally pictured both of them shaking hands. Like, it just like appeared in my mind. I was like, all right, that's an interesting take on the EXP. I could see it. The sustainability from both of them are just insane. They're going to definitely keep each other at bay, but I think when we get into the mid game, a flick of the switch is going to be happening with this Xborg and that true damage to be able to pull and apply a lot of pressure onto the Boxia. Now, we do see that Twisted Minds is applying a lot of pressure into the gold lane here.
Yeah, Tyrant's Revenge, he gets caught. The taunt is there. No bouncing ball as well. Look at the big final slash come out. They're not giving him a chance even. and he gets taken down by the Appraiser's Rat. So 2-1-2 is the kill score for Soda right now, 100% KPA as he gets into the turtle pit. And while Mike Sama just zones them away, Mitsuya does have the flicker, does have the penalty zone. Will we see it come out? I don't think it's the right time for them to go in, but Maro here quite deep, caught off position. Retribution coming out onto the side of Soda, but the final slash is there to get onto 2. And they use the big Firaga armor burst with the last Insanity Tyrant's Revenge and Rage onto Word Sano, and he will fall. And I think the Moscow went in too deep, but Soda here as well. No man's land. Will he be able to survive? He's kiting, but Danny able to pick up the kill.
1 HP from everybody's side. Lo Yi able to just drop that Yang right into the bush. It was crazy. Massive. Again, right now it's leading into anybody's hand, but we do have to give it up to Twisted Minds is that they've secured every turtle. We can kind of look at this take that went down. I think it really led into the Lo Yi, the Firaga armor with the last Insanity, kind of insane of jumping into there. A good 3-man bout, but look at that. Was that a solo kill onto Mike, or was that all of them down here that took him out?
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but right now I want to see what's going on here in the bot lane. They're just bobbing and weaving. Look at him. Oh, Sano with the absolute monstrous final slash. Helps Cuffin pick up the kill. Yeah, that was a sight. That was a sight for Sora. Beautiful final slash from Maro. We thought that, he won't be able to dash in and out with the Kufra being around, but oh boy, is he putting on a show for us.
100%. Already taking 1 tower into the early stage, kinda taking a little bit of the gold lead back, but a taunt coming out.
Yeah, let's see how he goes in. Maro just dashing his way, and Appraiser's Rat comes out, but still able to pick nothing up. But Mark was the first one to fall in that team fight, so overextending from the side of Birthright, losing out on these extended team fights where Maro on this R-Lot is able to shine thanks to the short cooldowns for that final slash. But mid lane, oh, they pick up another one. Danny just not working out for him today. This Lo Yi is just getting caught in no man's land all the time. And I think that all comes down to the roam pressure from Maro, using the Vengeance rightfully just to make sure he is able to create that separation, that distance that his team needs. Mark, once again, going in with the Tyrant's Revenge. Doesn't want to be there at the wrong time. This is what I was talking about, GK. 0-3-3. Yes, he provides the CC that your team needs, but if he doesn't catch anyone, yeah, it's not the right place for him to be.
Exactly. And that right there allowed them to get a 2,000 gold lead. And it's huge right now, right? A little bit of a... what the heck? A single conceal play right under the Lo Yi!
Oh my god. The Lo Yi didn't even see that coming. Danny. 1-3-2. He gotta start, right? Gotta pull up his stocks right now, because definitely his team will be looking to him to provide the damage that his team needs. Bouncing ball from Mark, forced the flicker out. Maro's an absolute monster, twisting the minds of Birthright right now with this R-Lot, and just being a nuisance completely in this map.
Yeah, definitely a huge pressure being exerted right now by Twisted Minds. If they're able to just keep the lockdown on a Lo Yi, I feel like that is their winning condition here. Now, right now, I feel like Danny needs to kind of just stay as far back as they possibly can. I mean, you couldn't have suspected that you're going to walk 2 feet out of your tower and they get final slashed,
Oh, look at this team fight. Mark again. Just between a rock and a hard place in no man's land. Just getting caught instantly. Oh, look at the top lane. Spear of Destruction hits Willie Go onto Nathan. But here's the team fight in the mid lane. Danny gets caught, gets taken down. And there's the last Insanity. They should get the other as well. No, they don't. Able to flicker out of harm's way is Mikazuya. And look at that gold graph just going downwards for the side of Birthright, because Twisted Minds clearly up by 3,000. And now, oh, flicker final slash. Maro. Ooh, gee, if we saw the Ruby in the previous series, look at this one, the R-Lot. I think it should be banned out the next game.
I mean, it's Maro. You can definitely suspect it, but the clap comes. Is it going to be enough, though? Doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the Kufra is just it needs to buy time. But Danny here with the diversion play on towards the other side, he gets it, but able to dash out of harm's way is Cuffin, and here comes the re-engage, the taunt from Soda, and at the same time, last insanity penalty zone coming out from Mikazuya. Will they catch 2? Appraiser's Wrath, not enough damage, but there's the final slash, catches 3, and here comes the re-engage from Cuffin with his own penalty zone, and on towards Mark. Mark can't really do anything at the same time. He is unstoppable. 5-0-6 is this Valentina, and the snowball has been too big for the side of Birthright to make any sort of a comeback, because now the Lord is there on the side, and it's 10 minutes into the game, 14-4 kill score. It's looking bleak for the side of Birthright. What do you think they gotta do, G? What do you think Birthright have to do to make it back into this game?
I mean, they're definitely going to have to wait into the late game at this point, right? You need the Natan to shine, but you're also dealing with a comp that is heavily engageable now and tanky. Look at this. It doesn't even matter. The Zoda bringing down the clap, and they're going to keep this engage up.
Yeah, and look at Alejandro. He couldn't even move for 2 seconds, and he's below half HP, and that's all damaged by Sano. Cuffin really didn't even do much there because he ended up using all of his skills. So if Cuffin had his skills available, he would have just been taken down instantly. And like you mentioned, that big clapback from Soda as well. He does have the Appraiser's Wrath, which has been a problem. And right now, look at the fire missiles doing some damage. Last insanity to get out of there. Oh, will Mike Sama get caught? He does not have the flicker, but the big final slash is there. The play is made from the side of Twisted Minds. And the big game maker in this is Maro. The Golograph kind of distracting me there, but at this point, they can't really do much. Penalty zone coming out from Mikazuya is too little, too late. Again, going for the final slash. He is not afraid to use it, ladies and gentlemen. Faraga Armor back on towards Mike Sama. Look at he's going in. Maro just tanking all that turret damage. He will fall finally, but here only Mikazuya left standing. No penalty zone even to defend the base. And Twisted Minds draw first blood in this best of 5 series of the second semifinal series of the Snapdragon Pro Series.
That was a lot of series. Give it up to Twisted Minds for twisting Kronos' mind right there. Huge game that just was witnessed. Twisted Minds showing great tenacity, 19-5, great control. To be honest, Cuffin was just on fire. And not only that, we can kind of take a look at some of these highlights and what really flicked the switch, because into the early sides, Birthright and Twisted Minds were going back and forth. But again, they weren't really focusing on the low Yi. They were kind of taking out some of the others, and then they come to notice that the low Yi's being a little bit of a menace, because look, no answers to Danny on the backside, and they were just chipping away. Zoda was 1, 2, 3, 1 poke away, but 3v1 there, not able to do too much. Again, I think we've already witnessed the turning point because we skipped a little too far ahead, but again, last insanities were clutch here. This was that final slasher right there, was a playmaker by Maro to secure this Lord and actually just end the game. To be honest, that was probably the biggest play of the game right there.
Yeah, and the way that they played is just MVP has to be Maro, right? G, come on, MVP has to be Maro on this R lot, and his presence. He made sure his presence is felt right from minute number 1, right? Yes, the R lot is not super strong, but being the aggressor in this roam position compared to Mark, I think they got the jungle and the roam picks kind of wrong there. At least where they're showing Mark in the jungle, Alejandro in the roam. That's why I got confused as well earlier.
Same.
Yeah, but you know that the pressure comes in from the roam position. Maro, absolute monster. Cuffin, I mean, he did do a lot of the damage. He didn't really die in the game as far as I remember. So, yes, he deserves the MVP, but the set potential, the shot calling, the playmaking ability absolutely goes to Maro. I mean, MVP in my books. I know you as well probably think he's the MVP, but, you know, that's not what the cameraman thinks. That's not what everybody else on the other side thinks, but for sure, it's you know, the way he's been playing he provides that pressure on the map, and at the same time, he's not afraid to be the aggressor, right? Because we know what Arlot's final slash like 15, 17 to 20 seconds cooldown, and he's not afraid to use it. Even if he misses it, he's able to commit the flicker as well, but he's making sure the opposition knows he is not afraid to use it, and I think that's the difference maker compared to Mark, because every time he tries to jump in, it's all in or, go home, or I'm all in or go home, basically.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it was just good utility by Twisted Minds, right? Like they knew their agenda. They were struggling a little bit to find that synergy into the early game because Birthright was definitely giving a good fight. But I think it was when the moment that Xborg started to come online, and then also when Morrow just making plays. I mean, he did that one conceal play to just be able to just take out the low Yi. When the low Yi was taken out of a fight, all of Birthright just collapsed, right? So I felt like that was their overall goal. They kind of was filling out Birthright, seeing how they vibed, seeing how they played a little bit, and then they decided to, they whipped something up, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, and I like how you mentioned Louis, because we knew Birthright were gonna pick up that Louis, right? And quite underwhelming in the early game, and that's not something you want from a Louis. You want Louis to be the aggressor. You want the Louis to be the one dishing out the damage, because let's be honest, G, I think that's probably the strongest level 2 in the entire hero package of 115, 116 heroes in Mobile Legends Bang Bang right now, and Louis is probably the strongest one in level 2. Not the greatest at level 1. He still provide a lot of damage, a lot of CC, but level 2, probably one of the strongest heroes with the highest burst potential, with the rotation, with the dispersion, and just goes to show it wasn't allowed to shine and suppressed by the side of Twisted Minds, just throwing in a doozy towards Birthright in that game. So just making sure that Birthright, they should shake it off. They should shrug it off, because we know they're a great team, and we don't want to say anything untoward, because we know they're possible to make a comeback for the fifth, and even carry out to like a best of 5 series. I even take a 3-1 right now, but they need to shrug it off first. Shake it off completely, and just go on in towards the next game with the right mindset. Like, hey guys, game number 1 is done, but I think we're better than them. We can play much better, and just shake it off and move on to the next game. But at the same time, Twisted Minds should have the mindset of twisting their minds. I just
Listen, I think I might be rubbing off on Kronos a little too much here.
Yeah,
he's over here trying to hit some wordplay on us, Welcome to North America,
And look how it's turning up, right? It's just making you look good a little too much here. But at the same time, I think I'm excited to go into game number 2 as to what Twisted Minds will pull out of their bag of tricks at this time. And I think the Arlot was one of them. And Birthright should be thinking to themselves, should we ban out the Arlot? Should we not? But if they ban out the Arlot, they leave a lot that's open. The Angela, the Matilda, the Chip. There's so much that can be left open. And also the Fredrin was there, kind of a nuisance for their side. It's just a pick that I don't want to see go, let go of. Because it's just too much utility. Brings a lot to the table. Easy to build a composition around. So it's just a lot of variables right now on the board, and I think Birthright kind of needs to pick which one they want to work with and which they're willing to let go of. So it all comes down to the decision making of the captain along with the rest of the team, if they have a coach, along with the coach as well. So at this point, it just comes down to, stick with your guns and stick with your decision no matter what happened in game number 1. To show up for game number 2, because it's not a best of 1, it's not a best 3, it's a best of 5. It is the semifinals of the Snapdragon Pro Series, challenge finals even, and you have a stake in the grand final. So it's you think I'm right, G? Come on. At this point, what do you think they got to do?
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much stated what I believe is also the right path that Birthright has to take, as well as, Twisted Minds kind of, they've already set in stone their path. Right now, I think it's just going to come down to whatever team can play best at a hero, right? Like, I suspect it. We've seen in tons of matches that the Lo Yi put into Birthright's hands scales so well, and they're able to control games. But it kind of seemed like Twisted Minds forced Birthright into that role, and they responded really, really well to it. So I like to see that. Now we have to see what Birthright can do, right? Their star pick was just destroyed.
Oh yeah.
What can they, like, they have to go back to the drawing board to decide on like what approach they want to take. And I think we're already going to be seeing what approach they take here as we dive into the drafts here. Again, interesting that they're first ban in the Paquito. I could definitely understand it if I'm not mistaken. We've seen Mike pull out an insane Paquito in some of those last games, like 1-2 KO'd you and you didn't even know what happened.
Hey, you know, before they could even move, like they didn't even expect it, and they were in the they were straight away in the boxing ring and getting jabbed and hooked by that Paquito, you know, possibly even the Manny Pacquiao skin, right? And I think Mike Sama, they deservedly respect banning his Paquito, and that kind of puts a wrench and throws a spanner into the works for the side of Birthright, because that eats up one ban slot, and now you don't know about, you know, should we ban out the R-Lot or what else is left on board? Because look at Twisted Minds. They're running it back. The Harriet, the Chip, and on the other side, it's the same thing with Birthright, but I think this is the final ban that they will be looking to change or maybe stick with their guns and just see how it was going. And if I'm not wrong, they ban out the Louis themselves?
Yeah. Lo Yi. Again, this is what I was saying, right? Like, Birthright, they got forced into the role, you know? Like, they were like, yeah, we got this. Like, you just allowed us to get our signature pick. And, again, that just goes to show that they don't want to first pick the Lo Yi, right? Normally, the only teams we see win that first pick, mages, it does lead with the Lo Yi, but it doesn't seem to be what they need to prioritize at this point, right? They need to maybe pick up a marksman, maybe pick up a Fredrin out at the get-go here. Something that synergizes a little bit better with them. Again, I don't know how many times I have to say it, but the Boxia is not the play. If I could just, like, there needs to be a public announcement at this point. He is literally lost almost every single game that he's ever participated in.
Yeah, it's not just this tournament. It's a lot of the other tournaments around the globe as well. And, I mean, look at that. The Twisted Minds just going in for the Valentina and the Moscow. Valentina just brings this different, you know, it throws a curveball to the side of Birthright, because now what are they going to pick? Which ultimates are they going to give away? Because the Angela is still left open. The Minotaur is left open. The Terizla is there. The Yu Zhang is available. So R-Lot's still up for grabs. Oh, they go for the Novaria. And yes, it could be a difference maker. But at the same time, not having that kind of damage output that you need from the Magic side might be a difference maker for them, because they don't have to build a lot of Magic defense if they shut down Danny early on this Novaria. And they go for the Yu Zhang in the EXP lane. So understandable as to why they want to dive onto the back line of basically Twisted Minds. They pick up the Barretts, and I think you mentioned this, G, right before, like, the Barretts, after he got hit with the nerf, he's not so tanky, he's not so strong in the early game, but if you give him that first turtle and you give him a little bit of space until the 4-minute mark, he's just going to start being an absolute monster after that. So Twisted Minds keeping in their mind that they need a little bit of space in the early game, so they're probably going to go for something early on the EXP and Roam side, but at the same time, Birthright will be looking to get their domination right off the bat.
Yeah. And one thing that's kind of slipped through the ringer at this point is the Angela, right? Like, in this second banner phase, like, is that Angela going to be a major target for Birthright? I mean, Roams right now definitely seem to be major targets. They could from the side of Twisted Minds also target another marksman that they don't want to see. I mean, they could ban the Clint. From the side of Birthrights, though, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't also target their own tanks. So like a Menno, the Angela would be two perfect combos to roll up on their second set of bans.
They have the Nathan that can be picked up on the side of Birthright as well. Yeah, so Terizla being taken off, so they're choking down the EXP.
They don't like Mike.
Understand. Yeah, they don't like. Yeah, it's because you've seen that advertisement before when you were probably a kid. G, like, dress like Mike, be like Mike, and they don't want to be like Mike this time. Another Mike we're talking about. But
there's so many Mikes.
Hey, I'm talking about the GOAT Michael Jordan. But for those of you who watch basketball, you should. Oh shit! Yeah, I mean, at the same time, I remember the advertisement where when I was a kid, everybody wanted to be like Mike, at least all around the globe. But Michael Jordan just jumping in the air, But hey, speaking of that, maybe we could see a Balmond. Maybe we can see a Balmond come off. He's still great. I like the Balmond in the jungle, and I think he's better than the Barretts at the moment. If you pair it up with the Angela, but I think it's still not something that teams are comfortable with, just because Barretts is tried and tested already. It's just the risky side that they don't want to be going with. But here, I think they want to be banning out Mike once again. And what else is left? The Arlot. Yes, they're still leaving the Arlot open, so they don't really care about it at this point. But with the performance he had, as in game number 1, Morrow did, and also they can be flexing the EXP. That's something they should probably be looking at. Yeah. Unless I'm tunnel visioning, as well. So
I feel like they're either gonna go Faramus or no, they're not gonna go Faramus. I mean, that'd be wild if they go Faramus Rome. But maybe Angela, maybe not. I mean, I think it'd be Angela. If I had my crystal ball.
Oh, here it comes, folks. Here it comes. Is the score gonna be 2-1 towards the GD Echo side, or is it gonna be mine? Because I think if they don't pick up the Angela, Birthright go for Angela, Romer, and Nathan in the goal lane. Wow. Oh, the Edith being picked up. Look at that. Look at that. Edith already.
I could see it if they force Birthright into the Angela, then Zoda can just automatically get the Heart Guard. So it's not like, might as well have some more damage, just because you could, if they opt to go for it for themselves, could be a good go. But from the side of Birthright, they could pull out the double marksman comp that we just seen in the last one, but they go for the Natan. Come on.
See, I called it. Pair it up with the Angela.
Sniper.
Pair it up with the Angela. Pair it up with the Angela, guys. Come on. Give me that, bragging rights over GTI Core right now. give me the Angela.
Watch they put the Edith and the EXP.
Yeah. So I mean, the Kaja is a good pickup, but who is the Kaja really trying to target here? Because yes, the Kaja is a strong pick off potential kind of roam position, but who are you trying to burst down? Because the Novaria is not really going to burst anyone down in the early game. The Nathan needs to scale a little bit in towards the late game, and the Yuzhong needs the mid game power spike as well. So they do, but look at that, they go for the Lolita, and I know, it's good. I like it.
It's good. I ain't gonna lie, I went against one last night, and she was the most annoying thing I've ever seen in my life. She can reflect a lot of that poke damage that they have on their team back at you. So we'll see. I'm having PTSD right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'll throw you some facts right now, G. Lolita has been the sole hero in the Land of Dawn in Mobile Legends Bang Bang for the past 5 to 6 seasons. She has been top in the highest win rates from Mythic and above in the ranks. So for 5 to 6 seasons in a row, consecutive seasons, she's been the top hero that has the highest win rate every single season. And this is from Mythic and above. And I think even Epic and above, I'm not sure, but Mythic and above for sure has the highest win rates. I've seen this happen every season, and it is for a reason, only because those who play the Lolita know how to utilize it to the maximum potential. Because it's not something that you can just pull off anytime you want. But folks, we are seeing that Twisted Minds did pull off that Lolita in the Rome on their side for game number 2 in this best of 5 series between Birthright and Twisted Minds in the second semifinals.
Definitely kind of going into the second series here. I feel like the biggest thing that we're going to see and have to utilize at this point. Oh my God. What?
Ooh.
Danny, what?
What happened?
What? That boy got an arrow to the knee and he couldn't move.
Oh my God. I you know, we're kind of speechless at this point. It's 2 games in a row. You know, could be the Achilles heel holding him back at this point. You know, and but unfortunate for the side of Birthright, once again on the back foot. And it is their carry once again, Danny, who has been doing well. So look at, I wanted to talk about that, but once again, they get picked off by Coffin this time. And that's 2-0 to the side of Twisted Minds. And the 2 damage dealers that they want to be scaling in early in the game and want to get their items as soon as possible, Chung Myung and Danny were the first ones to fall.
Definitely, Twisted Minds already coming into the second series with great aggression. You can just see production loves throwing that little Bratz emote in there whenever they possibly can. To be honest, like, I've played Bratz and even with the patch, like, he is still such a strong hero. Look at this. Stomp, stomp. Gobble, gobble.
Ooh. There he goes onto the wall, smack, and he's about to fall down, and he does, as Soda is able to pick that kill up for themselves. And here comes the Black Dragon right now. They're trying to go into the back line, but there's another Black Dragon roaming, and that's Cuffin going to their back line. And the utilization of the skill is absolutely perfect. As meanwhile, on the other side, the Petrify comes out, but Mikazuya will fall down. And Twisted Minds 4-0 in the kill score, as the turtle is up for grabs, and they will be getting that quite easily unless Mark could steal it. No, he does not, but he gets caught and he gets knocked up once again, but he's forced to flicker out. And I don't think that's the, you know, the best way, or the best. Fear of Destruction almost got him. It did get him, but
I was like, what is that red circle? I was like,
yeah,
the dude got cursed.
Yeah, he did get it, but I was gonna say, now that the Kacha doesn't have the flicker, it gives more room for Twisted Minds to be aggressive.
Yeah, it definitely does. Forces them, because I mean that's a long cooldown on a flicker. And look, I mean, pressure already being exerted onto him. I mean, a couple bops here and there by Marco, and you'll be regretting it the next day, that's for sure. You can already see that they're leaning into protecting Sano. To be honest, Sano definitely has a lot of control, but also Cuffin right now is definitely leading the pack for Twisted Minds. And we can already see that Twisted Minds is just winning in almost every lane. If we seen the head-to-head, we'd probably see that, but get in my belly.
Yeah, he goes, and Mark here, but here comes the Spear of Destruction. He dashes into the team fight. The Sano able to get an assist for himself at the same time, and Twisted Minds gets that snowball rolling. Here comes a knock, and look at that. The Bulwark coming out from Morrow, able to provide that protection that his marksman needs. And I think while the Black Dragon is out, I wanted to talk about how this Lolita can be a difference maker, right? Because he just canceled out Mike Sama completely, right? Talk about 2024 and canceling people out. This time the recall's been canceled out. But I wanted to talk about how, if Danny gets low, and he's able to get that astral recall going to get someone while they're low. But on the other side, if they're able to reflect it with that bulwark shield and gets, Chungmyung, for example, on their own side, how much of a tilt would there be for their team?
Oh, God. 1,200 gold lead for marksmen's. Look at that, 800, 500, 400. The only person that actually is decent is looking like the Fredrin at this point, having a couple gold up onto the enemy jungle, which is interesting to see, to be honest. Like a spear destruction. He's gonna teleport. Yeah. Look at him go!
Oh, he does, and Chungmyung gets taken low, but here comes the Divine Judgment, but nobody home to provide the damage, and look at Soda just going into the backside. Spitting on swords and picking up the kill quite easily. And Twisted Minds, the Predator in this game, G.
We call that stealth mode. He was tiny dino coming from the backside, You didn't see him coming because you always suspect he's the big brats, but he was the tiny brats this time.
Yeah, and look at that. He's already back big. He's the big boy right now. And,
the stealth mode.
No conceal needed.
No conceal. You just you thought you don't need long arms when you got stealth mode. You just come in tiny. But kind of looking at what's going on right now, Birthright really needs to shut down Cuffin at this point, and possibly Zoda. But right now, Cuffin's the only one that is probably worth the most gold at this situation. And you can already see as the Divine Judgment, is he gonna go in on it? Bot lane, cameraman. What are you doing? Wake up!
He did. Black Dragon is out. They did use the Divine Judgment as well. Not Flicker being baited out, but Mark comes in with his own. Will he get to see the pull? Not there. The taunt coming in from Alejandro is there, and I thought we are going to see a little bit more. Spear of Destruction comes out, and he eats him up this time. Ditna's welcome, but they will be able to pick up the kill. Will Cuffin, Appraiser's Wrath, not enough damage, but there it is, the Divine Judgment being used at the right time, but Cuffin's still able to survive. What the shutdown with the Astral Recall is there, and Danny finally should have some gold up in his name, because he is starting to get something going for the side of Birthright. Oh. I spoke too soon.
Jinxing him already. 1 kill in. Cuffin did fall. That was one of the stepping stones Birthright needed to maybe make a little bit of a change here. But Danny, 1v4, trying to put a lot of pressure onto the turtle. Able to get away though.
Look at Morrow being aggressive on this Lolita, and I don't think we ever got, oh, never mind, Detna's welcome, and to get Danny burst down instantly, catching him with a pincer maneuver, coming in from their own side, and meanwhile, Cuffin steals away the Divine Judgment. We haven't seen a Numenon Blast come out yet. There's the Guardian's Shield to make sure he can reflect anything back, but, just saying, G, we haven't seen that big Numenon Blast come out from Morrow yet.
It is true. Right here, though. Oh, no. Didn't go for it. Didn't really need it to take that tower. Twisted Mind, 6,000 gold up. No towers taken on the side of Birthright. They're kind of just pressed back against the wall. Again, they're definitely becoming prey in this situation. They're being passive, though they might not be passive right now as Mike is on the run. Get out of there, little guy. Wow, what? I'm so confused. Like, you had a Divine Judgment ready. Why? What?
So I think
maybe wait for the Lord.
Go for it. No, I think they didn't go for it because Mike Sama is quite tanky at this point, and he's just an EXP laner. But never mind, Detna's welcome gets him caught, and Mark will go down, folks. Once again, Cuffin picks up the kill, and he's just back to square one for the side of Birthright because we're back to a 7,000 gold lead again. Meanwhile, Danny gets caught in the bot lane, and Sano picks up his first kill in the game so far. 106 is tally in this second game of this second semifinal, and Morrow, look at that, he forces out the entropy from Chungmyung instantly, and now they're trying to get their siege into the mid lane tier 2, while Alejandro tries to provide some sort of zone. Not enough, as once again Morrow being a big difference maker, just making his front presence, making his presence felt in the front line with that Guardian Shield whenever necessary.
Exactly.
Ooh, Mark.
Exactly. Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
he's gone. He's not gonna
Uh-oh.
survive this, is he? No way.
To be honest, it just seems like Birthright's in disarray at this point. Look at that Divine Judgment by Coffin. Black Dragon's
Black
not
Dragon.
gonna save you here. Oh, it did.
I mean, able to fly out of there at this point, but not the right idea coming. Yeah, I understand the idea from Mark having to get, you have the Divine Judgment, but like I said, earlier in the draft, G, who do you have right now that can burst anyone down? Because Chungmyung, yes, he is a late game, mid to late game hero. We're in this some sort of a mid-late phase with the Lord marching in down the top lane. But there is the Guardian Shield that can cancel everything out. Danny can't really burst anyone down unless and until he has another item at least. And Mikazuya, yes, you have the Petrify, but you'll be committing so many resources just for one kill, which gives all free reign for the side of Twisted Minds to go for the re-engage, especially now that they have the 10,000 gold lead. So the Lord marching down the top lane, G, what do you think the side of Birthright have to do to make sure they survive?
I mean, they're just going to have to defend their towers at this point. I mean, that's what the Natan excels at, but he's kind of low at this point, and they engage in a flicker by Mike.
Yeah, and we see Primal, right? But here comes the Numna Blast, getting the Fredrin at the same time, and you can see that there has been a problem. That's the first Numna Blast we've ever seen in the game, at least, coming up. But here's a Spear of Destruction, catches everyone off guard, straight away able to teleport right into the base. But Mark flickering out, but didn't know that Sano had his own dash, and he gets caught there. And now they have no sort of engage as Chungmyung goes for the entropy, but not enough. Appraiser's Wrath comes out, but they get the kill. Towards it, killing spree. Alejandro, the only one left in the base. They're not even leaving him alone with the Numina Blast. And Twisted Minds make it 2-0 in this best of 5 series. They have match point at this point, and Twisted Minds just absolutely dominating once again.
Definitely complete control by Twisted Minds. Picking up the Lolita, keeping that 100% win rate with her. Again, just building off what you said, it was 1-18. My God. This is looking rough for him. Kind of taking a look at some of the highlights. There can't be too many for Birthright at this point, sadly enough.
That's that one, right?
Tough situation to be in. Again, I think really what was the turning point for Birthright is that they should have jumped onto Mike on that full left-hand rush that they did. There's the tiny dino coming in stealth mode. And then just complete execution here. More aggression. Coffin, this is where he gets caught off guard. Flicker, snipe. Ooh. That's the shutdown. The only kill Birthright was able to secure in this game. Underdogs and a lot of people's eyes are now put into match points. Are they going to be able to turn this around? Or are they going to get steamrolled by Twisted Minds?
And I think what has been the key to victory for Twisted Minds and the downfall for Birthright is that early kills, that early pressure in the mid lane. Mm-hmm. They catch Danny off guard, and they just take down Danny. And next thing you know, they already have a lead. Tuffin has free reign in the mid lane, gives Amaro a little bit of room to work around in the river as well for the river control. And then they just start utilizing that advantage and turn it into fast rotations, which turn into kills on either of the side lanes. And that's why Sano picks up the MVP for this game, because he made the most out of it in his gold lane. And you can take a look at his build. Corrosion Sight, he has the Golden Staff, goes for the DHS, goes for the Trinity, Rose Gold Meteor to get a little bit of sustainability as well. And also going in, I think, for the Malefic Roar at that point. So right now, I think the way that it's been going about, Twisted Minds should be looking at a 3-0 sweep, unless Birthright, like I said, there is a possibility that they could make it a complete reverse sweep as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to have to come down to that at this point. Can they control that or turn the tide, right? And it could be Twisted Minds just steamrolling them, like I was saying, or it could have been Birthright, which, I mean, they're pushed back against a wall. Can they initiate a reverse sweep? That'd be the biggest question that we have and that can be on our minds at this point. But right now, Twisted Minds are just, they're looking well oiled. They seem to definitely have their coffees and their energy drinks. And I think we'll be going into a quick 5-minute break here. So we'll see you guys here soon.
The Snapdragon Pro Series is brought to you by Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, Monster Energy, and DHL.
Welcome back, everybody. We're here possibly for the last series of, or the last game of the day, Birthright versus Twisted Minds. If you guys are just now tuning in or retuning in, I'm G the Ico. We have Kronos over there as well. Our socials are tagged underneath of our names below us, so definitely check us out. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Definitely check out Kronos as well. And don't forget that this is the Snapdragon Pro Series, so we're into the semifinals right now, and it's Birthright versus Twisted Minds. We're on the last game. Twisted Minds have been showing complete domination. Kronos, what do they have to do to change the tide here?
You put me in a spot, didn't you, G? I was gonna ask you that, but you turned the tables. But I think if Birthright needs to do something to make a comeback, they need to start prioritizing Danny. They need to start prioritizing Danny. And when I mean prioritizing Danny, not in terms of the draft picks, because he's been getting what he wants right in the first phase, right? I'm talking about in terms of this early 1 minute, mark wave clear. Because let's be honest, the first game, he died within 1 minute. Second game, died within 1 minute. And that just leaves Cuffin just open to faster rotations. And we've seen what he can do with these fast rotations. He's an absolute monster, barely dies in the game. Is there in every team fight, terrifying the back line and creating havoc in the Land of Dawn. So if Danny somehow is able to survive, it's okay. Get a slower wave clear in the mid lane, get a little bit of a slower rotation, but don't give away that advantage right off the bat, because the game starts not in the first minute, not at level 4, but it starts as soon as the minions hit the map and they're out. So I think they need to find a way to let Danny needs to know to not go out of the open and get caught, because as soon as he gets caught, yeah, it starts looking bleak from there, because we know how good Danny is, especially on his Louis, his Novaria, and now Twisted Minds basically shut down both those heroes strong in the early game, and now, although their backs are against the wall, it feels like the side of, Birthright are just backed into a complete corner and don't have a way out. So Danny needs to step up, pull his socks up, and should make sure he gets something going for his team.
Yeah. And we've kind of been seeing him slip up too, right? Like, I think he's been the first blood twice. The mid lane engage is tough. We're kind of looking at Sano here. We can definitely see interesting enough. I'm not quite sure if that heat. I seen a heat map and it looked like he was only focusing around the EXP most of the time once they clear out the gold lane. So again, a little wild that we're seeing the gold do that, but again, I think it just comes down to overall rotation right now, right? Mike knows how to out-rotate Birthright. They just constantly, every second, they're always being outnumbered in some key plays, and their macro is just amazing. So I think it's coming down to those key points that we're seeing. That is just allowing Twisted Minds to scale to such a high avenue. Now, coming into this last series, Birthright push back against the wall. They need to, I don't know if they need to pull out something that is, crazy or what, but because if they pull out something crazy, it could be a do or die, like a last, a Hail Mary, if you do say so yourself, right? Everything that they tried getting the power pick of a low Yi, didn't work. They tried first picking a Fredrin, didn't work. What can they do coming around to make it where they're able to finally get a win here?
Let's see how it happens, though. Like you said, it comes down to this Hail Mary play that Birthright needs to be making, because it's all or nothing at this point, to quote anybody out there. So I'm not sure who I'm quoting, but at this moment it's all or nothing for their side. And if they got anything, any sort of power picks, any sort of a trump card, any, anything in their bag of tricks right now, they need to pull out a rabbit out of the hat and show us a display, some sort of magic. Otherwise, we're just going to have two series in the semifinals for today in the Snapdragon Pro Series. This just went 3-0 and 3-0. And they're just really great teams. And, if they're going down, they got to go down fighting, because these first two games, although they did try, it seemed like they just got out. I don't like to say these words, but like they just got outdrafted and a little bit outplayed in their rotation. So, because of course we don't want to undermine anybody here. They're both professional teams. They're professional players. They're of course in the grandest of grand stages at the moment in Europe in the Snapdragon Pro Series, and trying to do their best to go against these professional teams, other professional teams at the same time. They've come a long way through their qualifiers, making it here. So, of course, it's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of hard work put into it. But, I understand it might not be enough, but at the same time, I think they still have more to show for us casters as well, for those of you who are watching. And I just want to see a show. I want to see a display of the high level of skills, high level of mechanics they've displayed so far in the tournament, and also, give us some reason to pop off over here up in the caster list, because I know GD Ico likes popping off every now and then. And if this is going to be the last game of the series, the last game of the day, give them a reason to start shouting like, "Oh my God, this happened and that happened," and same for me as well. So.
I was about to say my buttons already popped off. I got a little hot in here. So.
Hey, this guy just trying to get all the ladies together in the chat for himself. But folks, don't worry about it. Just don't ignore GD Ico. Follow my socials. G Chrono is G Chrono's out of it down and mentioned there. But yeah, of course, don't forget to follow GD Ico as well. He's my guy, and I think we make a great duo, G. We make a great duo so far in this tournament. Maybe in the future, not maybe, for sure in future tournaments, definitely I'd love to cast with you again. But for now, let's focus back on the Snapdragon Pro Series, right? The way that it's been going about, Birthright definitely needs to make something happen. And for the side of Twisted Minds, though, they've been having a perfect game. They've just been having a perfect game. It's not like they've made a mistake. It's not like they've overstayed their welcome. It's not like they've done anything. And let me guess, 5 picks already? Oh, wait. Oh, my God. Cuffin, 100% win rate on the Valentina, 100% win rate on the Lu Yi. Why on earth are we letting Lu Yi and Valentina get to them?
Exactly. And then third pick is Odette, right? And then average gold per minute is 622 and an average KD of 6.2. That's, dude, Cuffin. Someone stop this man.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you know that he's been so good on the Valentina, if you've done your research, why don't you just ban out the Valentina? Because it's not just a power pick, in my opinion, but it also means he is so aware of every single hero, and the micro skills along with his macro skills seem to be so on point. Because let's be honest, G, I think Valentina is one of the hardest heroes to execute in a professional setting. I'm not talking about your ranked games. I'm talking about a professional setting. Yes, you have your Fanny, your Ling, they are Hayabusa, Lancelot, all these assassins that are up there for sure. But I think Valentina takes it an extra step, because you can be a good Valentina, but to be a great Valentina, it's not a minute gap, but it's such a big margin, just because you need to know ins and outs of every single hero and when to utilize which particular ultimate. So just goes to show his awareness and his game IQ is so high.
100%. And thank you. I mean, you said it your best, right? Like, Valentina is just, I personally, like, even being a mage main, like, for a lot of my time in the game, I couldn't play the Valentina. There was a lot of uncertainties. I get an ult and I have no idea what I'm doing, and then I'm like, what is going on, Unlike, the Lo Yi, to be honest, if I could only just spam Lo Yi, and I'd probably take teams out left and right. Her and Beatrix are probably my number one heroes right now. But yeah, I mean, as a mage main, Valentina is just so crazy. We've seen Marcuti on my team actually pick up the Valentina quite a bit. And I think it just comes down to that, like, it can be such an aggressive mage and have an escapability, right? It has that built-in dash that has the ability to get in and out if need be. Not only that, it does have a little bit of fear to it as well. So you're able to, like, in a battle, be able to fear someone and they not even know what's going down because they're like, why in the heck can't I move? It's because of a Valentina.
Yeah, absolutely. And people kind of underestimate Valentina's damage, right? Because it doesn't look like it's a lot, but like you said, when you're in that terrified state, it kind of bless you, GDI.
Thank you. Thank you.
At that point, you know, the burst damage is just so, you know, it's kind of unpredictable because you just all of a sudden just burst down instantly. It's like the Faramis. People underestimate the damage, but once he gets those items, he's just able to burst down tanks quite instantly. And there are multiple ways that you can build a Valentina as well. You go the Lightning Truncheon, you can go the Glowing Wand, you can go the Divine Glade, you can go Genius Wand, you can go Necklace of Durance. So different ways to build out this hero and the versatility that it brings, not just in terms of build, but also in terms of, you know, draft strategies and how they've been going. So, but it is what it is. But I think we're going on a short break if I'm not wrong, right, G?
Yeah.
Snapdragon Pro Series is brought to you by Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, Monster Energy, and DHL.
Oops.
Back for a third time. Looks like we're going right into the draft.
Ooh, they're wasting no time right now because I believe, oh, look at that. Finally, Birthright understand. They realize they probably watched the stream and be like, oh, wait, 100% win rate? How do we not notice that? We got to take it out. Oh, guess what? Valentina off the board. That just leaves Matilda open. You know you're going to get a chip ban on the other side anyway. And there's the Fredrin that's open, the Lu Yi that's open, the Arlott did great in game number 1. Novaria's there, Roger, Carey, you know how it goes. It's just, the list just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Hey, they banned the Valentina.
Exactly.
The chips out of here. Do they force the low E pick again? I mean, maybe they force the low E pick again. I feel like that'd be the make it or break it here. Matilda got banned, so this either can be Angela or Lo Yi.
I think it's gonna be Moscow. I forgot what the last ban was in these past 2 games. They stuck with their guns, didn't they? They just ran it back, and they're on the red side again. So I don't remember.
I think they went Angela.
No, I think Angela was left open.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think
I forgot.
Roger. I think it was the Roger, right? Yeah, they banned out the Roger. They banned out the Roger in the first 2 games. Yes. They left the Fredrin open. They banned out the Roger, and because they wanted to give them, they didn't want to get any sort of early advantage given away, so they banned out the Roger. So I think, yeah, they're looking at that, running it back, twisted minds. Why fix what's not broken?
Yep. Did they run it back though? First pick Fredrin. Yep.
Yeah, they have to. They can't really give it away. What are they gonna pick? The Louis? It didn't work. So I mean, I don't want to
giving up the Lo Yi, the Coffin.
Oh my god! They put themselves in a tough position. Yeah, they put themselves in such a tough position. Like, gee, you feel it. Like, of course, we are passionate about the game. We would love to see great games being played, and we're players at the same time. And we can understand what these opposition feels like, because now the Louis is left up for grabs. There's what else? The Carey, the Yu Zhang. At this point, it's just the Louis. They're gonna pick up the Louis. The Minotaur. Yeah, see Louis. No doubts there.
Yeah. I mean, the Minnow, it's a good pick because, like, every time the Minnow's banned into the second phase, so you just want to go for it, right? Definitely worth it. And we're kind of seeing into the second phase here. I mean, they could opt to pick up the Arlott. The Arlott was a really good... What the heck? They go Xavier.
What? So early?
Huh.
Come on, G. Come on.
Dude,
you know what?
It's panic mode at this point, man. It's panic mode. We went on such a long break. Who knows what happened? And
the Tigreal, okay. I understand the Tig coming out early because you can choke out the roamers on the other side, so they gotta kind of pick it up. And not many left on the board, but they could have also gone for the Angela and picked up the Nathan at the same time, just to stack up on the magic damage on both sides, on the gold lane and the mid lane, and flex the Angela, and then maybe pick up a different sort of a roamer. But the Xavier, I don't think the Xavier is something that they'll be banning out on the other side. And now the Yu Zhang is open, right? So they can just pick the Yu Zhang, just dive straight on towards the Xavier, and he's gonna have such a hard time. But they go for the Barretts. They're sticking with their guns. I think that, they need a jungler as well. So, but the EXP lane is just open. Okay, so if you ban out the Yu Zhang, you ban out the Terizla, you have the Lapu Lapu that's open, can dive into the back line. You have the Benedetta that's open that can dive into the back line. And I think the Paquito, yes, it was banned out, but yeah, Edith is still available. So I don't know. The diversion play is just too much for them to deal with at this point. Yet they're relying too much. I think they're they're focusing and tunnel visioning into winning the late game, if I'm not wrong. They want to take it to the late game right now, the side of Birthright.
Yeah. And we can kind of see they're banning out marksmans left and right at this point. Get rid of the Moskov, get rid of the Claude, interesting enough, I guess. I could see it could be definitely a pain for the Xavier. Right now, I mean, Edith would probably be a good ban as well. Or a Grok.
I don't think they need a Grok though. You know, yeah, you can flex it on the EXP, but not so great currently in the meta because the Terizla is still up for grabs. And I think, you know, instead of the Xavier, they could have also gone the Lilia route because they have the Barretts on the other side. So Lilia is a really good mage that can like poke down and burst down a front line of the Barretts, can utilize the Black Shoes after absorbing all these skills. But we know we're choking down the gold laners. The Nathan being taken off the table here, and it should be a carry on the other side, at least I think, or the Ixia even at this point.
Force the carry. They're not. The carry's not going to really synergize too well, I would say. But the possibly
Yuzhong.
they do get rid of the Yuzhong. I mean, they could still go Arlot here at this point, or even like you said, I mean, there's still a lot. I mean, Xborg could still be picked up here. Xborg would probably be nasty to be able to dive in and get the Fred because it is a direct counter to Fred, and to be honest, can avoid pretty much everything that the Tig brings to the battle. So possibly that.
I want to see the Rizzler. I want to see the Terizla. Call him the Rizzler.
Arlot.
Oh, but the Arlot, yeah. I mean, the way he's been playing it.
Interesting.
Maro. But I know Minotaur is going to go in the wrong position, so this should be in the hands of Mike Sama. And, I mean, he's no stranger to an Arlot. We already know that. We've seen it a couple of times in this previous series. Not this one, but a few series ago. But right now, Chungmyung and... What is Chungmyung going to pick up, to be honest? What's left for grabs? There is the carry, but I don't think the carry is the greatest option here. There is the Ixia, but it's very prone to dive when you activate the full barrage. You have the Brody. We haven't really seen the Brody come out quite often, but it could be okay in this position. But against an Arlot, not the greatest pick. But also at the same time, there's the Bruno that's available. So if you want to start stacking up on the early game, Bruno, but they go for the carry route. And they pick up the Xborg for themselves. I like the Xborg just because you can counteract the Barretts as well. And, you know, have the Faraga armor for an extra bit of survivability. But the carry, you really need to get this carry popping off quite early. You need it. I mean,
that's hard.
I don't see a way. Yeah, that's the thing. Because, like, think about it. If the Minotaur, she's so susceptible to CC, right? The range is so close. You have an Arlot, you have the Barretts, you have the Luyi, you have the Minotaur. All four of these heroes individually have a lot of CC, and there's the Bruno.
I was thinking Clint instead, but I mean, Bruno has burst ability as well. Definitely going to eat away that Faraga armor and keep them at bay. He's also pretty quick too, so I guess I could understand it. But we'll see. I mean, we're diving into possibly the last match of the day, the last match of the semifinals, Birthright versus Twisted Minds. Which draft is going to be victorious here? As we see Birthright trying to make a comeback to get one game on Twisted Minds to make this not a sweep. Twisted Minds looking to end this game as quick as they possibly can with the sweep being the second sweep today. Again, if they want to, you know, be able to compete against Fireflux, I feel like they gotta sweep them.
Yeah, I mean, they gotta make their presence felt because Fireflux already did that. It's time for the tide of Twisted Minds to keep it up and make their own statement that they can be a tough opponent in the finals, which is the favorites against the favorites, Fireflux Esports. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and friends of all ages, get ready to get into match point for the side of Twisted Minds in this best of 5 series, or will Birthright finally be able to claim what's theirs, to make that reverse sweep real. The dream is alive still, all in a matter of time as we are into the game. And you can see already Danny being taken so low. Will we see him go down? And that is the third first blood in a row. And this is where Tuffin is gonna start hitting hard.
The Tig just killed his own teammate. Did you not just see that? He literally pushed Cuffin towards him, and then all he had to do was literally drop his S2 and it was over. That was crazy. We're getting some close-up shots of the Afro man himself.
I like that skin. It looks nice. It looks nice. You know, looks really cultural. But at the same time, right now, I think you know, the key condition was to make sure Danny doesn't die first blood, but unfortunately it happened again. But now what is the way to be going about this? Because let's be honest, Birthright are playing for the late game. Ooh, Mike's Sama forced the flicker out, gets caught, the dash is there, he uses vengeance, but here comes Soda, Deathness welcome, straight onto us, the Xavier once again, while the Minotaur comes in, provides a knockup, Danny forced the flicker out, and we will see Mike Sama fall as Birthright finally able to get a kill back. They get 2, so now they are starting to build something up. There's a little bit of a confidence coming up, but Zoda gets caught right now. Will we see him fall down? Alejandro goes in for the taunt. The knockup is real, and Soda will fall. The kill on towards Danny. So there's the revenge play coming out from the side of Birthright. 3-1 kill score for the first time, I believe, in this best of 5 series. They are up in the kill score, and it's 2-minute mark. And while they're playing in for the late game, this is the snowball that they want to see on their side, because Twisted Minds definitely are the aggressors with the early game picks. And here comes a diversion play. Cuffin, he might be... No, he does not want. He was in no man's land right there, G.
Yeah, I mean, he was trying to make a cheeky play. Tig, speedy right now, zooming through the river again. And Birthright, they got a good 1,000 gold lead at this point, right? They're able to keep them at bay. But again, Minnow doesn't really start shining. And Cuffin low, the tar coming out. Is he gonna beep? Makes Alejandro pay! The greed coming from his eyes were shining. And he's seen money bags, but Cuffin created the coffin for Alejandro.
Yeah, you know, showing him the route towards his grave, handing him the shovel at this point, and Alejandro fell down into the ditch quite deep himself while he was trying to dig it for Cuffin, and it just didn't turn out good for their side. And now, once again, they've been trying to get Cuffin, but look at Cuffin. The Louis is 2-0 at this point, and Sano picks up the Haas's Claws 3 minutes 20 seconds into the game. Yeah, this early game power spike started a show now for the side of Twisted Minds. It all comes down to when and where will they be going out for the ganks, because the worldie already being popped up by Sano onto her Chungmyung right now. And we will see the Mark responding into the bot lane to help out his goal laner. So look at that, they're not even trying to hold back on the cannon minions. So Sano's still able to pick it up, and 4-man rotation down bot. Diversion play still available on the side of Twisted Minds.
Definitely. And seeing what's going down at this point, again, what was 1,000 gold lead is now trickling down as we do see Twisted Minds kind of just going about their day, jungling about, just trying to get as much as they possibly can. Again, first turtle or second turtle coming up at this point. Birthright secured the first one. Can they secure the second one?
We'll see. The dispersion rotation is out, but here comes the big 3-man implosion. But the Minoan Fury is there to help his team survive. They get the turtle, and they get 2 in return for the side of Birthright. They're going on towards Cuffin. That's the big kill that they want to get, but there's too much damage, and he survives with some bit of HP, but there's the flicker forward coming in from Danny. He wants the revenge play to make sure he survives and gives his team a fighting chance in this best of 5 series, and they have a fighting chance indeed. But meanwhile, in the bot lane, a solo kill from Sano to get the goal laner on the other side to get something in return. Meanwhile, Birthright have the 2,300, 2,500 goal lead right now and are starting the snowball on their end.
Yeah, I mean, that was a crazy play on their end. The aggression definitely showing there. Able to take out a turret as well at that 5-minute mark. This is the lead and the snowball that Birthright needed. We can kind of see that they're attempting to try to do something here. Right now, we do know that the gold lane is really just farming away at this point. So I feel like they should be scared of this Bruno. But again, Tig on the hunt for him. What are they going to go for here? They need an answer for Danny on this Xavier. He's 4-1-2. Really the only person keeping control of them at this point. Ooh.
And that's welcome Minoan Fury, but the damage onto where Soda, he gets instantly melted. And Chungmyung here with the speedy light fields forces Maro to flicker out of harm's way. Will he survive? No, he does not. They pick up the kill. So 2 again for the price of none for the side of Birthright. And now they're starting to press their advantage. This is the aggression we wanted to see in game number 1 and game number 2. But we are getting to see it in game number 3 right now. And let's see if they will be able to keep it up, or will Twisted Minds twist those minds once again.
Yeah, this Xborg, this is what I was saying. I felt like the Xborg would have definitely went better into the hands of Twisted Mind. And them picking up the Xborg, you can kind of already see he's being an absolute menace for the team comp. But again, we haven't seen too many minnow rages coming out that were super clutch. But a 5,000 gold lead here is going to take quite the play from Twisted Minds to change the tide. Again, I think it is only going to take maybe one Minnow's rage and for them to come online, but they have to be aware of this. Xavier Coffin gets solo killed into the top lane by the Xborg. I don't know what's going on with Twisted Minds, but during the break, Birthright just coming out cooking in this game. They don't want to go down without a fight.
Yeah, pull out the Uno reverse card right now because the Mystic Field is pop. And look at that, Mark going in with the aggression. I don't know if he flickered. No, he did not. And now they're making the difference. This early Xavier pick seems to be making a difference for them. And there's the final slash, but the Purify's there, but he gets burst down really low. Implosion play coming in. Last Insanity being used. Minoan Fury all being thrown at them. And right now, Mikazuya will be able to fall. No, they don't. Appraiser's Wrath that gets none. They will be able to pick up Mike Sama, and Maro falls into the hands of Danny. And this late game Xavier is starting to rack up his damage. 7 minutes, 50 seconds into the game. 5-1-6 KDA. And you know he's going to start hurting. Because look at that replay, folks. The implosion came out, and so did the last Insanity. And I thought they would be able to get something. They did not. The Appraiser's Wrath comes down, able to bob and weave his way out of harm's way, but they are able to pick up the pieces still, thanks to the goal lead that they have on the side of Birthright. So no late game presence from the side of Twisted Minds, but will they still be able to make a comeback in this mid-game phase?
I mean, it's going to come down to Sano. There was a flicker implosion, pretty much set everybody on Twisted Minds. So, again, Sano has been farming up this whole time. He's 2-0-1. So if they're able to catch him, it could be a problem. A little bit of a concealed play going in here onto the Xborg.
Oh, last Insanity, though. They're not able to burst him down. They're not able to burst down that Faraga armor. And that was one of the conditions that they needed to make sure they get Mikazuya. And not working out. Deadness Welcome being charged up, but canceled out because they don't want to go in. And Alejandro realizes that Appraiser's Wrath goes in for the taunt as well. Mike Sama does have the final slash. He catches 3. And no Firaga Arbor from the side of Mikazuya, but they will have to go back because their damage is not present for the side of Twisted Minds. They don't have that mid-game scaling that they needed. And Cuffin and Sano need some space made for them because Danny right now, racking up the Mystic Field, is doing quite a lot of damage.
Yeah, and it looks like the first Lord is possibly going to be going to them. Did see a little bit of a diversion play to allow Bruno to go down to the bottom tower. They're trying to get anything that they possibly can. Xborg is now rotating down. Lord falling into the hands of Birthright. Gonna have to definitely mount up a great defense when it comes to this combat of taking the Lord down. Again, Sano is still online. Lo Yi can come in to make a crazy play into the late game, but we do see 3v the whole team here. What type of play are they going to attempt to make? Looks like maybe a tier 2 tower is going to be taken out by Xborg as the Lord is going to be barreling down. Nothing for Zoda to be able to get those stacks though.
Stealth mode activated.
He's going into stealth mode.
Exactly, stealth mode activated at this point for their side, and I think it all comes down to how much will Birthright extend or overextend. Because if they overextend and Maro is able to get that big Minoan Fury up on point, it could be a big difference maker. And especially when he goes for the Flicker Implosion play, the fact that the Minoan Fury is immune to CC will be a difference maker at that point to cancel it out. But it's not been working out so far for their side. And Soda is able to rack up the stacks at this point, and Mikazuya, an absolute difference maker with this export. The mid lane turret passive is popped. The Lord is marching down the top lane, about less than 2,000 HP at this point. They are able to defend. The dispersion to zone them away, and they don't want to overextend from the side of Birthright. With that 9,000 gold lead that they have right now, they are looking to press their advantage. Maybe end with the next Lord, unless Twisted Minds overextend and they're able to wipe them out.
Yeah. And I mean, with that first Lord push, I mean, they defended all of their tier 3 towers. So again, overall good. We see that the roam and the gold lanes are the only things that, oh my god, look at the damage, and then the oh no.
Yeah, the pop coming in from the last Insanity just caught us off guard, and the damage from that Dawning Light too much. Minoan Fury catches all 5, and will we see the re-engage come out? But the Speedy Light Wheel too much for them to take. The damage is not present on the side of Twisted Minds thanks to the early kill on towards Sano. And right now, look at that. They're trying to get Mike Sama. He will fall. Will we see a follow-up come? No, we do not. Just because the damage dealer Sano and the set potential from Mike Sama is not present anymore. And look at that Dawning Light already starting to do so much damage on towards Cuffin. And this late game scaling Xavier, look at that skin, is making quite a difference in this game.
Yeah, definitely. The Dawning Lights are being a massive pain, and you can already see they're allowing Danny to scale. Again, paired with the carry and the Xavier is what we're seeing here. To be honest, if they're able to take out either the Xavier or the Xborg, I think it could be big plays for them. Dawning Lights are coming left and right and utilized. It looks like they're trying to make possibly a play here. Divergence is possibly up, not zoning them just yet. They want to take this Lord, but I think they're gonna wait until maybe the late game. I wonder what they're trying to do at the bot lane. The Loyi following the Bruno at this point. He did die, so that is, I think, one of the recommendations that I said not to happen. And you can already see they are freezing the lanes. The base is left wide open on the right side, so that's where the Lord's gonna be barreling down. Can they defend once again? We'll find out as minions are stacking up.
Yeah, and at the moment, we got to see how Birthright will be making that transition towards their base, or will Twisted Minds be able to defend the Lord marching down the bot lane, as you said, and it all comes down to will Sano get caught out once again, and will Cuffin be able to make the difference? Look at that, they cleared the mid lane, the discipline not coming in from the side of Birthright yet, but they focus on the top lane to get that inhibitor. The mid turret still standing at this point. They're able to clear out the Luminous Lord, and Mikazuya is able to make a difference, peeling for the rest of the team. Conceal play coming out, the last Insanity is popped, they're trying to zone everything away, and right now no Firaga armor, they're still holding their base, so Twisted Mind still able to defend, and holding on for dear life in this particular game, because 11,000, 12,000 gold lead on the side of Birthright could be maybe a little too much to catch up on, but if it goes on for any longer, then the gold lead just evens out no matter how far or how ahead the team is.
Yeah, and again, I mean, 11,000 gold is pretty sizable, to be honest, but we're kind of getting into the late game where we're seeing some of them come online. You can already see that they are giving Bruno the buffs because they need him to scale. We can already see he's at level 14, Zoda at level 14, all of Birthright's at 15. They have to get leveled up at this point in order to compete against them. The damage, but look, this is when Maro starts coming online, right? Like the Dawning Light, yeah, it's gonna do a lot of pierce damage. Yeah, it's it's gonna do a bit of the damage to the team. Right now, the implosion's what we really have to watch out for. A little bit of a control on the Zoda. Another dawning light to come out. Again, Birthright showing great aggression, but also kind of feeding away at a Mike Sama. Trying to get something there. Baited out the flicker from the Xavier. 14 seconds. That's actually a really good bait early on. I still don't know if they're going to want to contest the Lord just yet. Birthright needs to not make a mistake at assaulting their base here. Looks like they maybe... I don't think they'll go for the X-Borg. Oh, a little bit of a divergent play. Are they going to go for it? They do!
They collapse. They collapse instantly, but will they bite the bullet? Minnow and Fury comes out, catches Stuba. Meanwhile, look at the X-Borg, but the Winter Truncheon is there from Cuffin. Implosion comes out. Will we see a Purify? Yes, they do. Cuffin's still able to survive, and Mike Sama was the first one to fall, but here comes the Cavalry. Birthright for the re-engage. They're going in, all guns blazing. They get Morrow, and now the rest of the team has to back away. Dawning Light misses Cuffin at this point. That was an all Hail Mary play that we were talking about earlier, G, but coming from Twisted Minds this time didn't seem to work out. Will they be able to defend? They have three of the damage dealers on their side as well. No front line. Zoda is the only one. Will they be able to zone it away? Dispersion being used already. Mid lane inhibitor should be falling right now at any given second. They have the last insanity to zone them out, but will we see them go? Yes, there's the last insanity. Mark being taken low, but there is Zoda still able to survive. Mike Sama is able to respawn. Final slash goes on towards Mikazuya, and they will go away because they don't want to bite off more than they can chew. As the Lord is up, but here they go for the diversion play. Straight to the backside. Minnow and Fury, and now will we see the fall? Alejandro in no man's land, absolutely. Will he get caught? No, he does not, and he is able to survive, not being punished. As Twisted Minds will have to back off. This is the big play that they were looking for, and now they have a chance to contest for this Lord.
I mean, they still have a chance to contest, but not a lot of utility still left available. Are they going?
They're going for it. Yeah, they get the retribution! And now Zoda is there, trying to run away. But will we see him fall? Yes, they do. The rest of the members should be able to survive. Look at Alejandro. He's been taken so low. Sano has the damage. He is online. And here comes the implosion. No Minnow and Fury. They take down the front line. Only the damage dealers available. But they're able to dish out the damage. Sano should be getting the kill on towards Danny. They get the shutdown. Alejandro is there surviving with the slightest bit of any sort of appeal that he can give for the team. And Twisted Minds holding on to dear life as the Lord is there, is able to help them, buy them enough time, and now Birthright will have to back off.
This is the tide turner they needed. Crazy, they were able to secure the Lord. Alejandro able to get away there. A diversion play into possibly taking out this X-Borg here. He is left alone. He has his Faraga armor, but it could be popped. He's actually going in and utilizing it. I'm pretty sure he has a lot of slow. He must have that Ice Queen wand, because that would have been an easy pickings for any other team here. The Lord is still barreling down, though. Birthright needs to not get overzealous here and now be on the defensive, as now the Xavier's damage not doing too much. Conceal play.
Ooh, diversion at the same time. Going on towards the other side. They're trying for the pincer.
Final
slash. They get it with the flicker. Minnow and Fury. Final slash being used as well. Danny gets caught. Jungyun gets caught. Morrow's the first one to fall. The damage is there. No follow-up coming in. Dispersion rotation. Enough damage coming out from the side of Twisted Minds. They cast them off guard. Yes, Morrow falls, but at what cost? As they're marching down the mid lane, they have the damage, and Mark, no implosion, has the flicker, but now you can see Twisted Minds catching them by surprise every single time, making the difference. Sano and Cuffin are definitely online, folks.
This game is definitely either or. It's going into the late game where the Bruno's now starting to shine. The Lo Yi's starting to shine. It's coming down to if they are able to kill this Xavier, I think it's like pretty much GG's. A lot of slow coming out here. A little bit of lag implosion, but look at the diversion. They got out of there.
God.
What a play.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, they're not just using it aggressively, they're also using it defensively. And now, look at that. The side of Birthright, yes, they're great when they're clumped up together because they have the implosion and they're able to stack up and layer their skills and add the CC on top of them. But at the same time, the fact that the diversion could be in play at any given time makes it seem like they have to check every single bush. And you can see Danny and Chung Myung basically cannot go anywhere unless and until the bushes have been checked. As the Lord is up right now, Birthright are getting it started. This is the level 3 Lord. It is going to get buffed and stronger, but here's the diversion play. Soda comes in, but on the other side they go, and now they realize, but they have to back off. Mark's zoning them away. They'll have to recall because the back door is in play, folks, because the carry is going in for the base. Will we see it happen?
GG's.
Yes, seems like it is. It's going to be GG. Well played from the side of Birthright. When we thought it was going to be a 3-0, Birthright trying to make a comeback as they pull a game back for themselves. 2-1 in this best-of-5 series. And what a game. Still hanging on to dear life is Birthright.
Yeah. I mean, it was coming into that late game that allowed them to just do that. Again, we could kind of read that Twisted Mind was trying to make some crazy plays and do whatever they needed to do to possibly turn the game around. And one of them that was making a full team diversion play. And then, I mean, it was a good read by Chung to be able to just backdoor. I thought that Xborg was going to backdoor, but Xborg just doesn't have that capability to initiate a backdoor. We're kind of looking at some of the highlights here, though, of that game.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. We really thought it could possibly be a 3-0 after the first blood going on towards Twisted Mind, but seems like Danny made a comeback and was able to put his team on his back, dish out the damage that they needed, along with Mikazuya with the zoning, Chung Myung dishing out the damage from the goal lane. They needed that early power spike here. They messed up a little bit with the retribution, but Twisted Mind, we just couldn't avoid the inevitable, bought enough time for themselves. And look at that, Sano was finally online. It just came down to the fact that they were not able to manage their waves with the crystal left wide open. And this could be the start of the reverse sweep.
138,000 damage coming from Xavier. I mean, it seems like maybe the mage doesn't need to be slept on, because like that is a crazy amount of damage. I mean, it did go pretty far, and they really just didn't have too many options to be able to get in there and to capture Danny. He did fall early into the game, but it goes to show that even if you fall early in the game, you can still come back and be an absolute menace. Birthright. Look at this guy. EXP 5-0-10. MVP. Crazy.
Yeah, and I think we can say one thing for sure now, G, that the side of Twisted Minds don't have 100% win rate on Louis anymore.
It is true. It is true. I mean, they definitely tried to make some crazy plays, but the diversion's like a double-edged sword. Like, if the enemy team can definitely collapse onto you really fast, but you can kind of jump onto them. I think what really played into a factor there is that Xavier moved out of the way just in time. And then, to be honest, I think they should have just patiently waited in that bush with the diversion play instead of showing themselves so fast, because then they could have recalled without having to worry about it. But the moment they teleported, they jumped out of that bush like a party bus, man. They were like, "Ooh, we're here, baby, what's up?" And then they got backdoored.
Yeah, and it was kind of unfortunate there for the side of Twisted Minds, because I really thought they had the, Uno reverse from the early game on their side, but unfortunately the marksman was left open. The Xavier was able to get out of harm's way, and they just marched straight down to the base to get that backdoor, because at this point it was not about ending, not about the kills, not about getting the Lord. It's about getting that base crystal, and that's something they didn't leave protected, and they had to bite the bullet in the end. So in a way, Twisted Minds still showed that they can possibly win. But Birthright, by a hook or crook, clawing their way, able to pick up one game Will they be able to repeat that though? That is the question, right? Will they be able to go back to back against Twisted Minds? Because yeah, maybe you can get one game. Like we said before, G. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Will Twisted Minds let that happen to them once again, or will Birthright, make it an even score and take this all the way to a game number 5?
Who knows? I think it's gonna come down to be honest, if I'm not mistaken, Twisted Minds have picked second every single game. So maybe we'll see them pick first this time around, and that's maybe swapping sides is something that they need. They just need a little bit of the familiarness, but I think it's just gonna come down to that. And they now the ball's in their court, right? Like they have the aggression, they have the synergy at this point. It seems like I don't know what happened during that time that we had a break, but they definitely decided on utilizing that time to make a decision to take out Twisted Minds for once.
Yeah, I think they went deep into their library, deep into their arsenal, pulled out a big book and said how to be Twisted Minds, put it on the table, opened it up. Xavier was big, bright, and shining right in the middle. They said, you know what, let's just pick the Xavier. It worked out, and the Uno reverse card was on play, but right now we're going straight into game number 4. Never thought I would say this for this series. Game number 4 it is, folks, because Twisted Minds on the blue side this time, Birthright on the red, and Chip being banned out on the blue side, and Paquito once again the same ban. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like when they limit Mike, it kind of causes Twisted Minds to make decisions on heroes that are kind of iffy. Like the Arlot could have been a good case here. I personally think if they would have picked up the X-Borg, they would have won the draft, and that game wouldn't have went as hard as it did. The Arlot was kind of useless at a certain point. Like, he wasn't able to get in just because of the Xavier being able to hold him down. But coming into this first pick, might see them possibly pick up the Fredrin for themselves this time around instead. The Harith is still left open, so maybe they're trying to bait the Harith. They're normally the first one to ban the Harith, so maybe that sneaks through the ripples here. Valentina ban, Keto ban. They're just banning out the heavy heroes that have been carrying Twisted Minds into ultimate defeats on multiple teams. So possibly going to see a Matilda ban here or something else and force them to ban the Matilda.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to how they're going to be utilizing their power picks and what they want to be giving in return for those two that the side of Birthright want to pick up for themselves. Because look at it, they give away, they ban out the Chip, they ban out the Louis for the side of Twisted Minds. On the side of Birthright, they learn from their mistakes. They don't want to deal with the Valentina again, taking it off. They do not want to give Mike Sama any possible change with that Paquito. But guess what, G? We see a small substitution come out just out of nowhere. We don't have Maro anymore. We got Troll coming out from the side of Twisted Minds. I know you didn't pay attention there. I just took a look. It's like, this guy looks a little different in the pictures. Who is this guy? Oh, wait, he's trolling. No way, his name is Troll, folks. He is going to be trolling everyone in the Land of Dawn. Harrod still left open, and Roger being banned out. Twisted Minds sticking with their guns, realizing that they did what they did in the first 2 games. They're sticking with the plan. And Birthright right now, they're questioning. They cannot be given the Harrod away whatsoever, I feel like. Because oh my god. They ban out the Matilda. The Harrod is left open. The Fredrin is left open. The Angela is left open. I think it has to be the Harrod, right, Jay? It has to be the Harrod. I mean, no questions asked. It has to be like instant lock Harrod, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
What do you think?
And it's crazy, like you were saying, Troll coming out. Like, what? Maybe there's something going on with Maro. But they first picked the Fredrin. Not even worried about the Harrod at this point. Ooh, I don't know. Something's happening. They're kind of falling apart over there, Twisted Minds. But again, they just don't want to leave open the Fredrin.
I think they were trying to twist minds and they got their own minds twisted. You know, Uno reverse card on their own side. Maybe they took a good, look in the mirror and they got confused themselves. I don't know what's going on at this point, folks, but you can see GD Ico scratching his head a little bit. He's questioning himself as to what the Twisted Minds are doing at the moment. And for those of you who have an idea, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down in the chat. What do you think, and who do you think will pick up this game? Because look at that, the Harris being picked up and the Barrett's coming out on the other side as well. And I think there should be an Angela being picked up from the side of Twisted Minds because you don't want to give away Angela along with the Herod. That's just asking for trouble on one side. But yeah, it's a tough one. Again, it previously all these games we looked at Twisted Minds draft and said like, yeah, they're possibly gonna take this game. Tight win condition for Birthright. It was same in the previous game, but they're still able to pull off their win condition. But right now, it's looking tight for Twisted Minds. I mean, the Herod, I don't think Herod is worth giving away whatsoever.
I mean, it can be easily countered by, I mean, decent burst. We already see they're picking out the bait. I know that was like, maybe they're pulling out a crazy comp here, but they're gonna go with the Farja once again. To be honest, I think it's a good mage, but right now, if I was Birthright, pulling out the Yu Zhong would probably be what I would go for at this point. Or interesting. I mean, they could still go the Exborg route again in the EXP because they've seen how well it worked. It is also a direct counter to Fredrin. That true damage is something you don't want to mess with. But right now we are seeing that the Minnow and the Harith do synergize very well together. So great pickups there. But also, I mean, the Edith and the Farja can synergize pretty well together as well. Comes down to you just colliding your skills onto one enemy together, you know?
Yeah, and yeah, it's gotta be layered, and it could be the dream run that Birthright are looking for on their side to make it all the way to the grand finals from 2-0 down to 3-2, and this could be the next stepping stone that they need. They take off the Moskov, understandable, because Moskov is kind of a problem for the Herod in lane and also in team fights, just because he has the displacement with the Spear of Misery. So and Yu Zhong being taken off on the other side, I feel like the Angela still might be something that Birthright could go for in the mid lane, just to pair it up with the Herod, just to pair it up with the Barretts as well. I don't know if it's in their arsenal yet because we've not seen them pick up the Angela so far. They've been ignoring it entirely. But on the other side, what is Troll going to be bringing to the fray, right? What is he going to be? Is he going to be picking up the Edith? Are we going to see that Hellcurt in the roam that we randomly see when they make substitutions? Are we going to see a Natalia? I don't know what's in the cards for Troll right now. Because Twisted Minds, they're throwing us a curveball as well up here on the desk, along with GD Ico. I am Kronos, and follow our socials whenever you can, folks. Show your love and support. And at the same time, looking at the ban out on Natan, and I think that is a good ban because you want Herod to have free reign when it comes to dashing around that Zaman force. So they're covering their bases from the side of Birthright. That's good to see. But how will Twisted Minds respond?
I mean, we'll have to find out as the last ban is coming through. I mean, at this point, they could be banning out another mage. Maybe a Vexana. Maybe something. I would say probably a Vexana. But they're going to lock down on the EXP once again. I mean, they do get to pick first, so I can understand while getting rid of the Yu Zhong and the Terizla, that could be a major impact for the Farja, but then they just pick up the Exborg once again. I knew that was possibly coming out, but so did they. They picked up a Masha and a Clint. Yo, some MPL strats happening right now. First time seeing Masha. I think this is the first time I've seen Masha.
Yeah, me too. I think it's the first time we've seen a Masha in this tournament even. And pulling it off here in the semifinals where they have match point and Birthright have the momentum on their side, at least swing it in their favor. Could be a difference maker, but at the same time, it's a pocket pick that they have been saving for the grand stage, and I think they don't want to deal with having it to go to a game number 5 anymore. Just wanted to take it off the table completely and steal it and just yank the rug from underneath of Birthright. As you can see, I feel like, yeah, this is a Masha in the Rome position, and maybe that's why they made the substitution, and that's what they were working towards. But the fairness, though, I like the fairness, extra survivability in these team fights. So, but Farsa, Feathered Airstrike could negate that, so we don't know how it's gonna go. It's gotta be a Purify from Cuffin.
Yeah. I mean, this is definitely a burst-heavy team. The Faraga armor is probably not gonna mean much, especially against the Masha with 3 health bars. Again, stole match point. Twisted Minds looking to end this here, while Birthright's looking to continue the stride. They've won 1 game. Can they win another and win another? Can they hit the reverse sweep onto Twisted Minds? That is their goal at this point, to stay into the series. But it could be anybody's game coming into this. Whose draft did you like better?
I like the Farsa, but the Herod is just too much to give away. Because, folks, when you're in the land of Dawn in the semifinals of the Snapdragon Pro Series and it's match point for your opposition, you will do everything that you can to stop them from making you get out and getting knocked out of this tournament. And that is what Birthright are trying to do right now with this Herod in the goal lane. All eggs in that basket onto her Chungmyung, and they'd be looking to capitalize in that goal lane because Twisted Minds needs to have an answer, and they need to have an answer quick.
Yeah, exactly. And I felt like Twisted Minds' answer was picking up the Masha, right? Keep this X-Borg at bay and just burst them down whenever possible. Also, I mean, you'll be able to burst down the Harith as well, catch them off guard, 1, 2, 3, tap them. So we'll see how it comes out. They are trying to put a little bit of pressure already on to the X-Borg. Oh, Zoda was able to get it with the Retry. Oh, but he might be walking into a minnow.
Yeah, and let's see how it goes. Cuff, and this time no first blood from the side of Danny, so that's some good news coming on towards them. Unless I spoke too soon. The Mark here almost getting caught by Troll to carry. Level 2 right now, gets the Retribution on towards him. Should be able to get out of harm's way. Uses the sprint as well. So able to survive right now. Wants to press the early game aggression on towards Birthright. Whereas Birthright are trying to hold their own and go to that level 4 power spike that they know will be the difference maker for their side.
Yeah, and you can already see, look at all this pressure on the X-Borg into the bottom lane. Faraga armor looking like it's already procced. There's 3 of them there. They're hunting him. What can he do? Nothing but sit there.
He gets caught on the onward, but Depna's welcome straight into Mike's. Mike's forced to flicker out. No primal rat yet, but here comes out. Zoda is there with the cavalry, but there it is, the Netherrealm. After everything being used, but Troll the carry. Will he have the damage? Not level 4. Thunderclap comes out, and Alejandro gets taken down. As now, slowly, Twisted Minds starting to rack up on the advantage. And this is what the Masha brings to the table. Another Thunderclap on towards Danny. But enough HP to survive all that true damage as Mikuzaya gets taunted.
He doesn't have Retry.
He's trying to throw in something. No Retribution, but will we see him get the turtle? Zoda still picks it up after the last insanity was used, but there's the Appraiser's Wrath, and Shadow Stampede gets him pulled back. Feather Airstrike should be able to get Danny, and Danny gets taken down once again. The story is still the same for the side of Twisted Minds. Yes, they lost 1, but will they be able to lose 2 in a row? We don't know yet, but doesn't look like right now.
They chucked it up to that last one being a draft if. Now they've come back heated as ever. Birthright kind of making mistakes left and right. Definitely X-Borg not being the sole survivor this time around. Has already fallen. The Masha, Troll the carry. definitely showing some great tenacity here and provoking the team and catching them off guard, but looking like Sano might be on next on the chopping block.
Oh, Sano flickering out as well, but guess what? This Cowboy can't run anywhere because here comes the rest of the team just to provide some support, but the Thunderclap getting that kill. Fed it on towards Soda, but here comes the taunt. He has the Appraiser's Wrath. Will we see him get killing spree on from Cuffin on towards Danny? As here goes Troll the Care. Will we see him go for it? No, we don't. And he's still able to survive, and the pressure coming in from this Masha is quite a lot. Here he goes, taunt on towards like Alejandro once again, forced to use the Retribution just to be able to survive. And you can see that this Masha is definitely putting the pressure on towards Birthright right now.
I mean, it's just able to catch him off guard, and for some reason, Birthright is just showing such crazy amounts of aggression this time around, right? They're being caught off guard. Every time they engage, they're getting cut and kind of being squashed in between a rock and a hard place here. Sano kind of alone. He almost got soloed. Next Turtle's up 4v2 at this moment. Oh, 4v4 now. 4v5.
Feathered airstrike coming, but look at Mikuzaya. He's just zoning them away, but he gets burst down. Does Mark and Mikazuya right now going in, zoning the rest of the team away with the Prime. Oh, there is the Nether Realm. The layering of the skills absolutely perfect coming in, and the Retribution on point for the side of a Twisted Mind. Soda is able to pick up the turtle once again. Primal Rat to deal the damage, but Thunderclap coming out onto her Chungmyung Nether Realm to help him survive. Chrono dashes in the Zaman Force, making sure he can survive, and Bob and Weave was way out of harm's way, and Birthright right now trying to make sure that they are able to scale in this mid to late game phase, while meanwhile Sano in the bot lane picks up a turret for himself.
Yeah, I mean, that was a little bit of a tunnel vision and a great clapback by Birthright, right? Like, they put a lot of pressure onto the med tower for some odd reason. Zada all alone here. Looking like the team wants to take him. Troll the Carry was the one that kind of went in first and died trying to be able to take out Chung. Would have been a great play if they were able to get it. Danny low. Not forcing out it. I thought Troll the Carry was going to jump in.
Yeah, I thought he was too. The way he's been playing, so aggressive so far. I mean, I would love to see it happen once again. And hoping that we see something come out. But actually nothing being put on the table so far. Oh, never mind. I spoke too soon. Let's see if it goes on. They're just backing off. Just a bit of a disengage.
That Retri went wide. Retri the minion instead of Alejandro. Seeing like a little bit of pressure coming down here. Stole about a level. Almost was an XP level diff there. Alejandro able to even that out at this point. Looks like Zoda trying to find whatever he possibly can. He's like a hobo at this point. Where's my gold at?
Oh, Feathered Airstrike. Look at the damage. Zoda goes in for the knockup, and not enough because the turtle is there. They want to zone them away, but Alejandro does have that big frontline presence. And let's see how it works out. So,
I thought they were gonna collapse on Danny.
Yeah, right now. Oh, there's the Minoan Fury with the flicker. They catch Zoda, but here comes the rest of the cavalry. Nether Realm being used as well. They get the turtle. It should be, as we see, Zaman Force dropped by Chungmyung right now. He's dashing with the Chrono Dash, but not able to get Troll to carry. Nobody falling from the side of Twisted Minds. Everyone able to escape with the slightest bit of HP. Oh my God, Twisted Minds. When it's looking bleak on their side, they're still able to come out on top.
Yeah, I mean, they did lose Turtle, but Birthright was able to. I mean, they only lost their tank, and looks like they might be able to secure. Nah, I think they stopped this mid lane. If they were able to secure that mid lane turret, that would have been like a win on Birthright's spot. Still trying to apply some pressure here. I think what really caught him off guard was that Nether Realm. Twisted Mind's gonna have to keep that at bay. Feathered Airstrike coming out by Cuffin, trying to apply pressure, but wasn't utilized just yet. Right now, 2,000 gold lead. So Twisted Mind's got to keep this up, but they have to be careful because you can already see that they are looking to clap back at this point. Uh-oh!
Oh, here comes Deckness. Welcome onwards, Troll the carry, but that CC immune coming in from that ancient strength should be able to help him survive. But here he wants to go for the backline dive after the known fury being used. Netherrealm is there as well. And look at the last minute advantage. He's zone them away, but here he goes on towards Mark with that thunderclap. They're able to pick up the kill, and they're going in more. Onward it is from the Primal Wrath being extended. Alejandro copying the Rocker Hard Place, and Cuffin and Sano taking down Mikuzaya. Meanwhile, Chungmyung comes in with his Zaman Force and the Chrono Dashes, but he gets caught once again with all that CC, and he's being chained. Look at the big appraiser's clap coming down. I don't even want to call it the wrath, but the big clap, the bonk. Woo! Soda able to pick up the pieces. Seems like they weren't worried about the Herod for a reason. Is it not right, G?
Yeah, I mean, that's tough. I mean, 10 seconds. Can they? They're looking to pop everything on this Lord. Forget it. We're trying to end this quick. While they're taking the Lord, we're going to look at a little bit of a replay as we see Mikuzaya coming into the back line and let Sano and Cuffin be able to secure that while the team split up and allowed a push on the right side. Chung was able to take out Troll the carry, but Mike and Sano able to secure some kills there. And then we also see Chung coming to his fate's door with that Appraiser's Wrath being clapped down right on him. Again, a rough play by the side of Birthright, but a great play by Twisted Minds. The Lord now into their favor. Can they change the tide here? Can they mount up a defense that keeps them at bay? Because they really need to make it into the late game.
Yeah, and that was an instant reality check for the side of Birthright and Chungmyung at the same time. Once that big sword was dropped, and Herod just got instantly deleted from like a quarter HP. And right now, look at that, Chungmyung dropped the Zaman Force. He gets caught in the Feather Airstrike, taken really low, but should be able to survive unless somebody goes to the back line. But they get the kill with that big quick draw and the double shot. And now will they be able to defend it? Because the Netherrealm has been used already. The Lord marching down the mid lane. Alejandro taken low, uses the Detona's Welcome just to get out of harm's way. And here comes the second wave along with Troll the carry. And they will be targeting down Danny right now because there's no Netherrealm. Feathered Airstrike should be up in a second. And yes, it is. Look at the damage being done. They get Cuffin displaced as they are focusing their advantage and focusing their attention in towards the top lane. But the 5-man knockup with them and no Fury is there. And will we see a little more go down? No, everybody backs off. And looks like Birthright have found a little bit more time for themselves to give a little bit of a breather, while Twisted Minds will have to regroup.
I was like, who got the red buff right there? I think it was the Clint. But yeah.
None of the junglers.
Yeah, none of the junglers, as we can see. We got a lot of double bar action happening right now. Yeah, I mean, that was a great defense by Birthright. That's what they really needed to do here. They are going to be going on to Alejandro as the whole team's collapsing down on him.
Yeah, look at that. The taunt is coming onto Alejandro. Thunderclap once again. They get the kill onto Word Sano. That's the right person because right now he has the range. He has the true damage. He has the quick draw. The fastest gun in the West. Right now, the man from Texas doing all the damage. But at this point, we will see that will they be able to defend because the Lord is coming up in 20 seconds. And although Cuffin has been dishing out the damage, the quick draw from Sano is just absolutely monstrous. He goes into the back line, does Mikazuya with the last insanity, but he gets burst down instantly. But here comes the Feathered Airstrike to take away the Frog Armor, trying to get his kill, but not enough to do the damage. Danny going in, not really a smart move in my opinion. But at this point, they need something to make sure they're able to get vision. Look at that, they're bursting down the Lord so quickly, G.
Yeah. We're already seeing that the Lord is definitely falling into their hands. They're going to have to mount up another great defense. Looking like they're going to collapse down on them, though. A little bit of a displacement here. Feathered Airstrike, they're chasing. They are going to take him out with a Lord coming down as well. That is rough for Birthright.
Yeah, look at that. The thunderclap was real. They're gonna even recall slow the push of the Lord. Look at how much work Soda is putting in. This is the kind of work that nobody notices usually, because this is the dirty work that he's pulling off for the team, slowing down the Lord as much as they can to make sure that Cuffin and Troll the carry come back online as the Lord charges on towards the inhibitor in the mid lane, takes it down. Danny has to be careful right now because the Netherrealm will come out on the right side, but the Earth Shatter along with the Feather Airstrike. Here goes the Netherrealm. They're able to pull everyone back with the Fire Missiles, but here comes the last insanity after the big clap from that. And you see the 4-man knockup coming in, but it's too little too late because Twisted Minds go straight for the base as they're able to make it 3-1, move on to the finals of the Snapdragon Pro Series.
Wow, Twisted Minds taking out Birthright 3-1, game 4. And looking at some of the scores here with 17-4. I'm not quite sure what kind of happened in the last series with Twisted Minds, but they definitely switched it around. We can kind of take a look at some of these highlights here. Again, a constant aggression by the side of Birthright and a good reaction by Twisted Minds. Every neutral objective was a lot secured. Deaths after deaths. Netherrealms coming out, but not enough. This was actually the one point that was enough for Birthright to be able to turn a little bit of it behind, but then they get split up here as the X-Borg thinking he's a little bit too thick, not able to take advantage of two of the squishiest people on the team, while the right side of the team just able to pretty much initiate a complete team wipe. Yeah, Danny came back, but it was because of the passive that the Faramis had. So overall, great fights coming from Twisted Minds.
Yeah, I was still looking at the clap that he was able to get, you know, Chung Myung. He came in, he thought he could be the savior that Birthright needed at that very point, and then instant reality check from Soda after that Appraiser's Wrath just puts him back into the black screen, making sure that they know that who are the aggressors for this series, and it's Twisted Minds claiming their victory and moving on to the finals. A 3-0 is what they would have wanted, but a 3-1 is what they got because Birthright went down, but went down swinging indeed. And now the stage is set for the finals. It will be Flux Esports versus Twisted Minds. That will be taking place tomorrow, folks. But for now, congratulations to Twisted Minds, the MVP being Soda. Absolute monster on that Fredrin. Gee, I don't think we got to say anything more apart from the fact that he was an absolute monster. He didn't die a single time.
I mean, it just goes to show the Fredrin is still such a clutch pick to be picked up. And overall, an amazing game, to be honest. Crazy outcomes. Both sides, you never knew what was going to go down. Twisted Minds definitely showing great control throughout a lot of the tournaments. Congrats to them. Definitely don't want to discredit Birthright. They were able to get one on to Twisted Minds. So again, overall great games, but Twisted Minds coming out on top. That was it for our semifinals of the Snapdragon Pro Series. Next up will be the finals. That will be tomorrow. As Kronos said, to be Twisted Minds versus Flux. And that is, I mean, from what we see here is gonna, it's either gonna be 50-50 or it's gonna be one-sided. Who knows?
Yeah, it's gonna be one heck of a party for sure, folks, because the way that Twisted Minds have put on a show for us today, and Flux as well, it could be a one-sided story, or it could be all up in the air, because you know it's anything goes at this point. But like you mentioned, Gino, let's not discredit Birthright, who have put on a crazy display for us. They made sure that they had a say and took, you know, at least made a one win on their side, and earlier in the series as well against Flux Esports, they made sure that you know, they had a claim. But yes, congratulations for the finalists, and unfortunate for the ones who got the short end of the stick, but still they made a name for themselves, and for sure we'll be looking forward to seeing how they perform in the upcoming tournaments here in Europe, MENA, and Turkey. But for now, don't forget to like and subscribe, and follow us on our socials, which is down below. But gee, apart from that, anything else? What do you think? Who's gonna win tomorrow?
I think that's it. Check us out. Check us out. We'll be live tomorrow for the grand finals, Twisted Mind versus Fire Flux. But until then, this is the Snapdragon Pro Series. We'll see you guys later. GG's, Aiko and Kronos out.